Let me see here, guys. Give me a second. Should have some music now. And now, there we go. A little bit lower. Good. There we are. Should go and bring us to news. There we go. Yeah, news. Also, I want to try out the camera. Yeah, I'm going to. But first, I need to make sure everything's ready for all the messages we need to send out. Now, I'm doing this in that's not the right one. I'm doing this as response to a video I saw by Midas. There we go. This is gonna be a politics. I know, it's a weird thing. It's something I never really do. I also want to see if I can start a camera, because I have a camera. I mean, I have my phone, who's a camera, and I don't look the best, but it's fine. I haven't ever set up a camera before. So how does a camera work on this? Program? Doesn't make it. Oh, that's a virtual camera, not it. So how about cancel that? Let's go to the game screen. There, we're gonna talk about the speech by Obama, because it's really, really good. And I've been watching a lot of this stuff. Let's see if I can add a Windows capture video capture device. There we go. Create new. There we are. Hey guys, this is me. Hello. Oh man, I look idiotic. I look like an imbecile. That's correct, so it's fine. I need to modify this a bit. Adjust size and stuff now. I think it's shift, right? Nope, that's the wrong one. I became thin. I became very thin. Let's make it. Yeah, that's better. Yeah. Look at that, and trim a bit of the top. Not that much. I do have some hair. There we go. There we go. Sit normally. Is that good enough? No, a little bit more. About that, and about that, and about that. That looks okay, right? Make it smaller. I'm in the corner now. I'm all the way down here. There I am. I'm off my own logo. That's the problem. I can put the logo to the side. Yes, let's do that. So let's put you over there. Where's my logo? Logo. Hello. Oh, actually, I could. Nah, I'm not gonna do the avatar. Where are you? That is animate slider. No. Avatar? No. Actually, no, that's all it. To find the right thing is always difficult. Hello? Avatar? Oh, there's you. Haha, there's you. Move the avatar. I cannot move the avatar. It's usable. I have it selected, yes. Yeah, so why? Oh, it's because it's tiny. It is tiny. There we go. Out of the way. There. That'll do. I take myself. I plop down there. Now I'm not sure how you do the background though. I know there's technology for that. Let's see if we can find out how the technology works. So we have filters. I've seen background thingies. I need to find out how to work that. Filters? Is there a effect filter? And can we put something? Color correction, composite blur, crop pad, mask blend. I wouldn't know. I do not know. I would need to find that out. We need to do some science, but I'll do that after stream. That's fine. So this will have to do for now. Yes, you can see my face now. It's weird. Anyways, this was, in my opinion, so important that I thought I should share this with you guys. This is a video made by Midas Touch over here. This guy. I've been watching him quite a lot lately. I think the sound is off. Yeah, Midas Touch over here. I put a link, actually let's put a actual pinned message in there. I do like his name, Midas Touch. Yes, original video from Midas Touch. There we go, and we put in the link. There we go. And the link. Yeah, there we go. Copy that. And we there, enter, and then we pin that. Bam. It has been pinned. Cool. Next one. And put it there. And that one will be pinned as well. Pinned messages, check. Cool. Cool. There we go. Hey, Allegard. Hey, dude. How you doing, man? Goedemorgen. How you doing, man? Good morning. It's the first time I ever showed my face on camera. First time I used the camera, actually. Well, it's my phone. But I thought this was too important not to share, because this is happening in the world at the moment, and it is the whole Trump thing and stuff. This is Obama doing a speech. Doing so. And so, my Morbus F's me sideways. How about you? I'm doing pretty okay. My throat is killing me though. I've been doing some speech lessons for a as a tutor. I'm a tutor. I did some speech lessons for new students, and I've been speaking a lot of pronunciation and how to pronounce letters like the letter R or G, which apparently is very difficult for someone who's not Dutch. Apparently. Oh, the tips for those, by the way. R. If you vibrate the front of your tongue towards your top of your mouth. R. That's the R. That's the Dutch R. Yes. But yeah, it does cost me a bit of my throat, so that's why I have hot and warm and delicious tea. Yes. Bon appetit. I mean, that's for food, but thank you. You can also say cheers. Oh, by the way, can you hear me properly? My mic is not in the right place. I think it looks good. You know what? It's good. Leave the mic there. It's fine. Should be right in front of me. Should be right here. Yeah, you can barely see it, but it's right there somewhere. But that will be in the way of everything. And I like to hold my cup, so it's nice. Everything sounds great? Good. Good to hear, man. Good to hear. So, I'm going to turn off the music. I'm going to start this video. It's made by Midas. I will probably lower the volume and we'll adjust it as needed. Midas is a great guy, does good stuff with his videos, a lot of news. And there's so many things too important about this to not share that I'm not normally into politics. Not normally, but on the other hand, the point about politics is that you don't do it on Twitch, because Twitch will not give you any money from advertisements. But I don't get any money from advertisements anyway, because I'm too small, so I don't care. I don't care. There's no difference for me, so that's fine. Music. Deactivate the music. It is gone now. Music gone. And we're gonna start up this video, because I think it's just too important not to share. I think more people need to know about this. Dutch or American doesn't matter in this case.
Imagine if I had done any of this. Let me I just want to be clear about this.
Former President Barack Obama speaking in Hamilton College.
How is that volume? Is the volume okay, or is it too high?
The Midas touch.
Time to make political arts then. This stream is sponsored by Lockheed Martin. Oh, I'd love that, man. I love Lockheed Martin. Weren't they the ones who made the F-117 Nighthawk? I'm a plane nerd, dude. I'm an absolute plane nerd. I love those things. I think they're awesome. And Lockheed Martin was great. It is great.
Network. I think we were the only people to get this footage.
Oh, Midas is a great guy and stuff, but he is a lot about, we're the only one who got this, we are the best, we are the biggest. He does love himself, but, I mean, he's not wrong about it, right? SR-71. Yeah, the Blackbird. Volume was a deal? Perfect, thank you. You have the SR-71 and you have a lot more planes, but Lockheed Martin is amazing, man.
You'll see this is one of the quintessential Obama speeches. You're not going to see this anywhere else.
I love this guy. Not going to see this anywhere else. Now you see it here as well. But, I mean, I do credit him. It's everywhere, right? Everywhere I can put it. Midas. Midas Lasp. Why is Lasp? Why not Labs? Okay, sure.
Other than on the Midas Touch Network, it was over an hour of former President Barack Obama speaking with a professor at Hamilton College. I'm going to show you a portion where former President Barack Obama addresses this current moment. I was debating, should I include just a bunch of clips? No.
I completely agree with this guy. I will, of course, interrupt sometimes to say some things. I'm not just gonna randomly copy all things, but yeah, he doesn't put anything. Also, great screenshots, great stop moments. But yeah, I'm not gonna put too much into it. But there are some really important things in there. I think not just about America, but just about how we view politics as a whole, how we are getting indeed complacent. You'll hear more about it later. And we, yeah, should do some things on certain issues here in the Netherlands as well, by the way. We also have a pretty right-wing prime minister right now, which is not someone I voted for. I actually didn't vote this year, which is a bad thing. You should vote. Don't be stupid like me. Vote. Vote is good.
I gotta show you the full thing. I think it's critical that you watch the full speech right here and then you share it. It is critical. It's not all that long. I really think it's important you watch this.
And that's what we're doing. We're sharing it.
To reflect on where we are.
Let's make it big.
What has happened to our country. And again, share this video with anybody you know. You are not going to see this anywhere other than here on the Midas Touch Network. This is the full...
It feels very American to me to only visible on this channel. You can only see this here. I mean, he's not wrong. Don't mistake me. But having to point it out every 3 seconds is kind of... It feels American to me. It feels like a little democracy gave up and the right wing across the world see the opportunity. Yes, indeed. I think so too. And I think it's way too much. I mean, I don't think if I'm left or right, some things I'm right, some things I'm left, I guess. I mean, I do see problems with some immigration. I see, for example, with in England, what I hear a lot is that there's more and more Muslims. They're taking literally over the jobs from the mayor and stuff like that. Does mean that the ones who do that need to be good at their jobs, but it feels a bit like they're being taken over. That's how it looks like from this side of the pond. And we're like, we don't want that. So I understand that, and I agree with that point. But to literally build walls to keep, in this case, Mexicans out of America, I'm kind of like, yeah, that's also a bit too far that way, you know? You do need some immigration. It's healthy to have some immigration. A healthy meal. What extremes we have for a choice? Yeah, indeed.
Speech.
Also, the weird thing, to me at least, in the Netherlands we have a plethora of political parties we can vote on, and every year there's more of them, and then some disappear, and a few others come by. But there's always more than 16, 17, roughly around that area. So we have plenty of choice to go for. Central middle, left middle, right middle. That's the wrong way around. And all the extremes beyond that. We actually had a party for a while, which I was really much against, called, I believe, Martin was it called? It was a party for pedophilia, for pedophiles, yes. Because it's allowed, whatever you are, as long as you're not, of course, criminally doing things with children, you are allowed to say your piece, and we will not stop you. We will stop you if you act in the wrong way, but you can speak how you want. And I wasn't agreeing with them, but I was agreeing that they were allowed to be and trying to go for into politics, because people should be allowed to voice their opinion. Freedom of speech is important to me, and therefore, even though I don't agree with them, it was a good thing that we allowed them to exist. And I believe they're gone now, because most people would like, no, pedophilia. I'm too, by the way. Where's my pitchfork? But yeah, allowing people to speak their minds, allowing people to oppress their opinions, and then you give the right arguments to break down their views. But yeah, in America you only have two parties. So the problem with two parties is you always have them and us and them, and you get a whole adversarial positioning, because always one or the other. It's never together. They never agree with anything. In the Netherlands, you have so many parties. They sometimes have to work together, and have to grab a party that one. I have to put it there. If you have this part about, for example, green energy, you like this, you love this, and this party doesn't like that at all. But they have to work together to make something happen. So they say, okay, you can take your green energy windmills, you can keep that, but you cannot have your solar power. But then we'll give a little bit of us away, and we come to an agreement, a a middle ground between them. They have to work together at some point, and therefore they cannot go completely left or completely right, because they have to work together to make a parliament possible. With only two parties, where one becomes the president over here, and then he can also replace all the most important people, like the main judge, the important important ministers and stuff like that. He basically turns the entire government into his completely right or left wing, whatever it is, party, which feels wrong, way too extreme to me. But that's just really weird to me. I know there's more parties in America that just don't work for some reason. I don't even understand why. There's many weird things about American politics to me. But this one affects, it affects us all. It will affect me if I go to the grocery store to buy food. I need to pay more now, because it's hard to get chicken and pork and stuff like that, because of that happening over there. So it's important to know this kind of stuff.
Right here, former President Barack Obama talking about the Trump regime. Let's play it.
Let me preface this by saying what everybody knows, which is...
Oh, I want to give, before this starts, I want to give props to Midas for sending this out. Midas Touch network over here. And he also doesn't interrupt all this. I try to keep my interruptions to a minimum as well. Because Barack Obama is, in my opinion, and of course I'm Dutch, so therefore my opinion is better. Anyway, welcome to sarcasm. I think he was the last good, actually really good president of America. He actually built up their economy. He tried to actually implement universal health care, so people actually could afford healthcare. It got broken down, unfortunately, but he did try. And as far as I know, he was one of the best presidents, even though he started a war, I believe. Maybe two, not sure. But in my opinion, he's one of the best presidents in the last decade. So we'll see.
I have deep differences of opinion with
also quick sniff.
My most immediate successor, and who's now president once again. And so there are a host of policies that we could be discussing where I have strong opinions. But at least for most of my lifetime, let's say the post-World War II era, there was a broad consensus between Democrats, Republicans, conservatives, liberals, around a certain set of rules.
Yeah, you're right. When he got elected, I was in an arbiter, and when I finished arbiter, you could feel his impact here. I was jobless and couldn't find anything, but it pushed the economy so hard that survival was no problem. That's so important, man. I'm so glad that you got through that phase and well, didn't get a problem with surviving, because it's literally survival for a lot of people, especially people without a job and people who are the vulnerable people. If something goes wrong, it goes really wrong. I could be wrong on this, but I've heard saying that Trump took away money from pensions from people who have right to their pensions, and they now don't get their pension money paid. At least 1 month. I'm not sure how long it can last. Those people can't afford their houses, their food, their medication. They worked their life long to get that, and he's not. That's awful. That's absolutely awful. And that's happening right now. So, yeah. Yeah. Obama way better.
Where we settle our differences.
Ironic, yes it is.
Right. That there are some bonds that transcend party or region or ideology. That there was a creed that we all stuck to. And that basic notion of American democracy, as embodied in our Constitution and our Bill of Rights, said all of us count, all of us have dignity, all of us have worth, that we're going to set up a system in which there's rule of law and separation of powers and an independent judiciary, and there are these freedoms. freedom of worship and freedom of the press, and an assurance that if we go before the law, that there will be an impartial process to make decisions. And we all stuck to that, more or less. It doesn't mean there weren't corrupt politicians. It didn't mean that there wasn't abuse of power in society itself. Obviously, there were vast differences in terms of access and influence and having a megaphone. But we all said, even though that ideal wasn't always observed, that was the right ideal to have.
Now, is this the ideal he's speaking of? A lot of that has been, in my opinion, not just America, everywhere in the world, it's been degraded. And I think one of the major things to degrade this kind of, let's just say, a gentleman's agreement, where you are all consider each other valuable, to consider each other worth, consider each other respectable, because you are, just humans trying to do your thing, trying to look out for yourself and the people behind you, especially as a politician over there. I think that's been degraded a lot by two, in my opinion, major things. One is the internet, where if you've seen some of the things happening on the internet, where people can say things and don't get any repercussions because it's pretty anonymous. So it gets more and more and more heinous. Think of games where people just scream for each other's death or something like that. Or you see big streamers, not me, big streamers, who get death. Actually, I got death threats, but who got death threats and people doxing them at their houses because they don't agree with something they said, or they get extremely aggressive because they can hide behind that anonymity, and it gets really extreme on the internet. As Mike Tyson put it, actually, Mike Tyson, very smart man, actually. People get too comfortable by saying whatever they want without having to worry about being punched in the face for it. I think that is a big part of this problem, where people stop respecting others as normal humans and just see someone to fight against. You have this meme about the two dogs. And two dogs are fighting and they're growling, and there's a fence in between, and they're grinding and growling, and someone opens the fence and the fighting and growling stops, and they just can act normally. That's what we're doing. We are the dogs fighting and growling and being aggressive and stuff, and then the fence never opens. So we get more and more and more aggressive because there's always this fence of anonymity between us. I think that is a big part of why we get more and more detached from seeing someone behind a microphone, or hearing some voice on the internet, even if you can't see my face, because you could never see my face, to see them as an actual human being and not just as someone to roar against, because there's no consequence for you if you roar against them. Right? So I think because people are so used to just spouting whatever nonsense they want without any repercussions, it causes things like this to degrade, to have agreements where people see each other that they are people. Off topic. Good luck with the camera. Oh, thank you, dude. Thank you very much. Catless dad. One day you'll have a cat. It will happen, sir. Well, thank you, dude. First time camera. So, yeah. It's actually my phone. I don't really have a good camera. And it's on one of those wobbly, what do you call them? A big piece of metal, basically, that just arranged in a way. Think of it as a wire, a thick wire. So I have to adjust it just right, and if I just shake it slightly, it just goes behind another screen or stuff like that. It's really hard to get that one to stay straight. So yeah, but thanks. Anyway, good morning. But let's continue. I'm waffling. I promise not to waffle too much. So let's keep on going with the cool guy.
And I do believe that our commitment to those principles has eroded. And I think it eroded in part because the government itself got really big. And what that meant is sometimes it felt distant and unresponsive, and rules are a hassle. and some of the rules aren't smart, and people get frustrated. I think part of what happened also is that it's easier to observe, it's easier to agree to disagree and have forbearance to people who you don't agree with if they all sort of look like you. There's in the United States Senate, when I
100%, but you also have to take into account Obama, until his presidency, lived a normal person's life in New York. True, he was not one of super rich people. True. While Trump lived in his money exile since the 90s. True, but you also have. I mean, I agree with that. But that's not really. I mean, of course, Trump is, in my opinion, he's. I don't want to say two extreme words, but I have some extreme words in my head. Let's just say I use the least destructive word: incompetent. That's what I see when I see Trump. Incompetence, because that guy, and I've seen a lot of what he tweets out, and I followed a lot of what he says in the media and stuff like that, and oftentimes within 3 sentences he is contradicting himself. Within 3 sentences. Try count it next time you watch Trump make a statement. Listen, 3 sentences. Does he contradict himself? It happens so bloody often. It happens so often. He lies on the spot. I mean, people can be mistaken and say, "Oh, I said something wrong," and I usually correct it that way. But not Trump. He just goes the exact opposite direction instantly, without any reason or rhyme. He just waffles on, you know. It's, yeah. Let's put it politely. I'm trying not to get too aggressive, you know. That will not go well for me either. So, but yeah. But you're right. The background of Obama and Trump is wildly different. Also, the difference in Obama actually knows how to live like a normal, regular person. I know it sounds weird. It does. Trump does not, and I agree with that, but that's just background stuff. How did Trump get to power? Someone like Trump got to power. What did it happen? We know he got Russian backing back when he was, for the first time in his presidency, he got Russian backing. It's also one of the reasons why he loves Vladimir Putin so much. He idolizes him. At least he seems to. So there's a lot of things behind Trump that, in my opinion, should never have happened. I'm pretty much against the notion that a government should be propped up by commerce or religion, because both commerce and religion have other aims than make the people of a country happy. For commerce, in this case, Trump here, he's from commerce. He has all kind of companies and stuff like that. He's rich. He is there because, well, his father, and 2, because he has a lot of companies and he is good at making money. But making money is not the prime thing you want to have as a president, because the president needs to look out for his people. And a lot of companies, as you know, lay off people to offset the amount of money they make. I don't think someone who's high in a company's hierarchy is necessarily a good fit to be a leader of the entire country. Especially not if he's in the pockets of a company leader like, well, Musk. So I think they have way too different priorities than they should have, being in a position that they're in, which caused a lot of mishaps. Like, I did read something about, I could be wrong on this part, correct me if I'm wrong, there was some kind of message about Trump's tariffs, right? And Trump's tariffs would, of course, lower the value of the stock markets. That's plummeted down. So what happened was, there was a message from the White House that Trump might extend the time in which they would impose tariffs, and you saw the stock markets go up instantly. And then a few moments later, you see some people just instantly getting into the stock market, buying a lot of stuff, and then they would bring out an announcement. Oh no, the first announcement was wrong, and the stock market went down again. And then you saw suddenly that same amount of people just sell all shit. You just instantly saw them people making money there, and it seemed like it was the government. So market manipulation. You don't want that from your country's leader. You don't want market manipulation anyway. That's illegal in most countries. So that is your president? That's not a good fit. No. Agreed. Money's money and lives are lives. Exactly. Because to you and me, money is, can I pay rent? Can I pay my... can I pay for food? Can I actually do something fun for once? For a country, money is a tool, not a goal. But for a company, money is a goal. So we will see the Trump tariffs. One of the many theories I've seen about it, I think it's actually Midas who said that, I could be wrong, that the Trump tariffs themselves will hamper the trade of America with the rest of the world, because the rest of the world doesn't want to buy anything. Actually, was buy or sell, one of the two. One of the two options is hampered. I think the American buying stuff from outside is more expensive. So they don't want to buy stuff from Europe. So Europe doesn't offer them that stuff anymore, or less of it, but gonna find out more ways to sell it to China, or to the Middle East, or to Europe itself. And therefore the Americans get less and less choice to buy things. It seems like a problem for Americans, actually, to have those tariffs. But I'm no economist, so I could be saying all kind of wrong things here. But as far as I see, these tariffs are more of a problem for America than for the rest of the world. The rest of the world doesn't like it because we are way too dependent on American markets. I mean, I think the Netherlands are way too much dependent upon the American market. One simple example, all the television shows, all the series, all the big movies, that's all Hollywood. We have nothing here that is even comparatively big enough to compete. So we have a lot of things that we get from America and are dependent upon America for. A lot of our armies, we didn't have much army because we didn't need them, because there was always America with a big stick, and they would be, and they were like, okay, sure, we'll mess with the Netherlands because then else America gets angry. So we're pretty dependent upon them. If you think about America, in my opinion, before Trump, used to be a superpower. And they were kind of in control of the world, because they were. They were the police, they had all the armies everywhere, they could impose whatever the hell they wanted, and people liked them for it. They were in a great position, absolutely great position. And now everyone starts to distrust them because they can't be trusted. The president is literally a criminal who is doing criminal things while in office. He actually sold people into slavery. Actually, normal Americans who were there legally, they were from they were immigrants who were legally into America, who worked there legally, without any process or any kind of any kind of legal procedure. They were just exported and sold as slaves to Salvador? I think it was Salvador. They're selling people as slaves, and I mean people who just were walking down the street or were helping in the local supermarket or stuff like that. I mean, they're claiming they were all terrorists, which sounds interesting, but where's the proof? I haven't seen proof. All I see is people being lugged on a plane, being shaven, forced into those uniforms, and then forcibly pushed out into some kind of, well, in my opinion, feels like a concentration camp. Not a good thing. Worst part about that is that they actually publicized it, made it big, and a show out of it. And I'm like, that's selling slaves. That's not something people normally advertise. Right? And that's their leader. What the hell? Yeah. Yeah, especially Germany can't have a big army, else all names got PTSD again. Well, granted, last time you had a big army, it was pretty hot around here. Yes, I actually have a. I don't have it here. I actually have a picture made by my great grandfather from one of the concentration camps, and it was painted oil paint on bathroom tiles. And it's very hard to paint on bathroom tiles, very hard. And he painted this big ship on it. The ship was named the Hope. And there was a message on the back side of it saying, alles zal goed komen. Meaning everything will be alright. He never came out of camp. He never came out. So we have some PTSD with that. Yes, we do. My personal family. So, yeah. But that was, in my opinion, not Germany's fault. I think the first people who got conquered by the Nazis, the first country was Germany. Germany was the first country conquered by the Nazis. So that's the way I see it. And it is not as extreme here. I'm not going to say Trump is Hitler. He's not. But he did say that he'd like to have the same generals as Hitler. He did say that. Yeah. So, but no, I'm not worried about Germany having a big army. I'm worried about who is leading that army. That's what I worry about. You apologize for that? Why? You weren't there. You didn't do anything wrong. That's something I think is weird as well. Don't apologize for things you have not done wrong, sir. Because you have not done anything wrong.
MRL_0 just subscribed for 42 months.
Dude!
Hey, nice to see you.
Hey, Mr. O! Dude, thank you very much, mate. And good to see you too. We're doing something weird. We're doing politics. And I have a face. I have a face! Yes, I know. It's a miracle. He has a face. I thought this was way too important not to share. I'm not going to make any money on the video, but truth be told, I'm too small. I don't earn any money anyway, so care. But yeah, we're not worried about Germany having a big army. Actually, I would be feeling happy if Germany has a big army. Because our army is absolutely worthless if it needs to defend us. Mostly because we're so small, any rocket just flies all the way over a country and back and back and back and then hits easily. So we're so small, it's really hard to defend ourselves. So I'm glad if Germany gets a good army, because then we might be a bit safer. Because we are just too small. We're tiny. We're minuscule. But we do have old computer chips. Yes. Anyways, but I don't mind Germany having a big army. That's fine. It's just who's in control of that and how are they using it. And back in the day, the Nazis, they conquered Germany first. I don't blame Germany for any of that. I blame the Nazis for that. That's my opinion, at least. So don't apologize for anything you haven't done wrong. It's like the weird thing about people blaming all white people for slavery. It's weird. I never enslaved anyone. My parents didn't. My grandparents didn't. My great-grandparents didn't. I knew my great-grandparents, they didn't. And we didn't. The slavers, weirdly enough, were actually, oftentimes, you have the slavers and the slave traders, right? Different things. The slavers were the ones who actually went to the villages to collect the slaves and did all the horrible things. And you have the slave traders who, well, groomed them. I wouldn't say that's good, but it's not taking people from the village, transport them and sold them. That last part, that is not great, not good, but also not the worst thing in the world, because back in the day that was normal. I'm not saying that's good in current statings, but back in the day that was a normal thing to do. It was just another trade good. I'm not saying that it's, it's not good to do, but it's not, back in the day it was normal. So the ones who did the most heinous things were usually people who bought them in the end and were the plantation owners, who were not all evil, by the way, not all of them, and the people who actually caught the people from the villages and sold them off. Those were the worst people, and neither of them were the Dutch. So, not saying we were great, we were definitely not. But it is... You should look at it from the view of someone in that age, in that period, to see how it actually was. And we can't. We have this vision that is different. So I'm not going to apologize for slavery. I never enslaved anyone. And as far as I know, people in my family didn't either. So don't apologize for things you have not done wrong. Yes. Hydrate. So you're completely correct. Sir, to your health, mate. And also, when are you going to go and get your license to go light speed? I want to see the first light speed rail by you. Anyways, I've been waffling again. Man, I waffle way too much. Sorry about that. Let's continue.
I got there, I was the only African American. There was one Hispanic in the United States Senate. I'm not that old, so this is fairly recently. You had a sense of how different it was by looking at the men's gym in the Senate versus the women's gym. Men's gym, really big, and old guys walking around with not wearing enough stuff.
I know this part. Old men walk around way not enough stuff. Back in the day when I had with one of my girlfriends, I went to one of those saunas. And, well, those saunas are without any clothing. There's no bar, there's no towel, there's nothing. Let's just say there's a lot of old people. It was very weird to walk around that. Anyways.
And then the women's gym was like basically a modified closet with a bike. Because there just weren't that many. And so during that period of our history, I think there was a general sense of, well, if I'm a Dixiecrat, Southern Democrat, if I'm a Republican from up north, if I'm, this or that, have this or that perspective in terms of being fiscally conservative or socially moderate, we all went to the same club and we all talked about the same things. And then, starting around the 60s and 70s, people crashed the party. And now it's a little harder to agree to disagree without being disagreeable if your sense is, well, that person isn't like me.
I think what describes is a good thing. People get out of touch, and I mean literally out of touch. How often do you go to a gym and see a lot of people together? How often do you go to a sports club and have a whole team together? That we're getting... I mean, it's nice to be able to contact each other by phone, and I can't hold my phone because that's the one you're looking through, so there's my phone. But it's nice to contact everyone this way, but I think a lot of people are just getting out of touch because they don't actually interact with people directly, only through the internet or through phones or, but don't really actually go to people and talk to them. I hear it's a big problem in Japan where people never talk to anyone for years, which I think is a really bad sign for society. That's Japan, but I'm pretty sure it happens in more places. So if you have some people you like, go over and buy them a drink or play a game with them. And I mean a board game, something close that you actually meet people, so you can touch them and annoy them. I have a friend. When I play D&D, I play with 3 other friends, and all guys. It's a Souls Fest. Anyways. That friend is just he's been a friend for me for a long time. We used to ballroom dancing together. Also sometimes dance together because it's funny. People would have weird looks when we just danced around together, and we were actually both very good at the ladies' places. Anyways, but sometimes I just make fun of him. He hates it when people touch him, so I just gently stroke his thigh, and you see, oh! It's just awesome to do. Just a little bit of teasing, a little bit of human touch. It's fun. It's fun. Yeah, the focus on competition instead of cooperation is too high. I agree. Oh, one thing I've noticed, by the way, let's grab a little bit of paint. Oh, it's flashbang time. Flashbang time. There we go. Much better. Make that black and make that white. There we go. What I often see when you go to a date or to a meeting with someone, what you see is always this. There is a table. There is a door. Hello, door. There's the door. Door. You come in. And you would sit here with someone here. This is how you not get hired. This is how you create animosity. Why? Because psychologically, the one in front of you is opposing you. You are opposing each other. You're fighting each other. It's also with dates, and it's also with a few on the table with people. So what you can better do is not sit here. You grab your chair and sit here, or better, next to him. So you have the same outlook. And that means you will work together instead of against each other. It's a bit of basic psychology. So if you ever have a date or you ever have a meeting and you have the option to grab your seat and go sit next to the guy and not not inappropriately close to the guy. No, just sit next to them. So you look at the same point, you can see the same things, and you have literally the same outlook at that point. And then you are very much more likely to come to an agreeable outcome than if you are sitting opposite each other. It's a bit of basic psychology, but actually works quite well. My parents nowadays only sit next to each other, never sit opposite each other. So they can talk about the birds flying by or whatever. They see the same thing. And it makes for a lot more fun places. So don't sit opposite each other. I don't know. I do know why they do this in restaurants and stuff. And that's why it's a habit. Because it's more efficient and can fit more people in a single place. But for relationships and stuff like that, try to sit next to them, because then you will think together at a problem instead of against each other. It will help a lot. Small thing, but makes a big deal. Anyways, well, I try to greet my passengers with a simple moin, or say have a nice day when they get off, and have a minute to say that works, Mr. That works very well. What I do, I do a newspaper delivery in the morning. And of course, I start at 4 o'clock. I did it this morning as well, 4 o'clock. And sometimes you see people, and I greet them enthusiastically. I say, hey, good morning, man. It's way too enthusiastic, and a lot of people are like, I just woke up. But it's a nice greeting. It's like, oops, sorry. Dying. Yes. Sorry about that. It's like when people have dogs and they come home, right? You have a relationship and you have a dog. So you have your what do you call it? Blah blah other. Significant other, that's the word. Significant other. You have a significant other and you have your dog. Your dog will always be wagging his tail, going towards you. Yeah, he's home, he's home. You love that greeting. She's like, hey darling, and she goes away. You're more happy with that dog, with that greeting, than with that hey darling, and goes away. So make people, be enthusiastic. Make sure people enjoy being around you. And that will make a big deal also. It's a lot, Mr. O. Are you going to drown me again? So, no. Oh. Mr. O, on your brain. Oh. He's trying to drown me. Chat, help! He's trying to drown me. Don't help him. No. I have to make it dehydrate again. Maybe you have to do that again. Cheers, dudes, to your health. And I think we're gonna stretch as well. So yeah, chat, when it's time. No, Alicard, no, don't join him, no. Evil. Anyway, you know what goes, Miss O? Grab those arms all the way to the ceiling, all the way up. Reach for the sky. Go for it. Grab it. Touch it with your fingers. Yes. Almost. Oh, I can't. I'm too short. I'm too tiny. Yeah, good stretch. The Dutch are secretly people from Atlantis and can breathe underwater. Guys, it's Mr. O, the one with the train. Yeah, 5 minutes. Go. Anyways, no, we're definitely not from Atlantis, and we cannot breathe underwater. Definitely not. No, it's fine. It's fine. What's that? Code 5. Anyways, Mr. O, just sit there, relax. You're fine. Definitely fine. There's not going to be a whole team of people coming to greet you on the station. Anyways. Also dying. Sorry, I'll mute this for a bit. Bit too much up there. Anyways, all these interruptions. Let's keep going with Mr. Obama.
Doesn't look like me. Maybe doesn't think exactly the way I think. I'm more prone to feeling attacked or threatened. And so that, I think, changed. It made us a little more tribal in our politics.
I like the way you use tribal here. It's not like tribal, that's not tribal what he means. He means more little clusters of people separate from each other and more adversarial instead of working together, which is, in my opinion, really wrong.
And then the economy wasn't working for everybody. Now that, in part, had to do with the fact that government wasn't as responsive as it should have been, and inequality grew. And then finally, media. I think one of the most important aspects of our democratic practice is having a well-informed citizenry, which is reliant on a free, objective, effective press.
And this part, I think, is one of the major parts of how a lot of things go wrong. If the press is not free to perform its thing normally and cannot give objective news, you get painted news. You get people who are doing awful things, but because they're rich or are the ones owning the press agency, they get being either not shown with a problem or shown as the heroes from a problem, instead of actually shown that they are causing a problem. A big issue with this is that a lot of companies are owned by other companies. So we have, for example, Fox News here. Fox News here, which is owned by someone else, which is owned by a big conglomerate, which owns a lot more news agencies. All those news agencies are under the umbrella of one company. And if that company is political, or wants to go into politics, or any kind of thing, that they can enforce down to all those news agencies to broadcast specific news. And actually make sure that the citizenry has no clue about what's actually happening. It's what you see a lot in the Russian news. It's also the news about Russia. A lot of people, for a very long time, it's kind of starting to crack now, used to agree with what Putin said, and that apparently, according to Putin, that there's Nazis in Ukraine, stuff like that. And that Ukraine started the war, according to others. That's all propaganda and stuff being forced to the people who don't know better because they have no other source of news, and therefore are mistaken well, they're not mistaken, they are manipulated into seeing the world in a specific way that the politicians want, the ones in power want. That's a really dangerous thing. But with all those companies being up for grabs to be bought by the highest bidder, they get under the umbrella of another corporation who can become a conglomerate, etc. We see it also with some example that I have here in the Netherlands. We have a lot of grocery stores, with the Aldi, with the Lidl, with the Spar. We have plenty of those. They are all owned by one company called Ahold here in the Netherlands. I think they are also big in Germany as well. Now, what the problem is with Ahold is there is people making products, for example, cucumbers, or making pig meat or whatever. And they say, as the grocery store, they say, we will buy these cucumbers for 3 cents per cucumber. But to make a cucumber, it costs 3 weeks to make one cucumber. 3 weeks. 3 cents for that. That's unsustainable. But the problem is, the farmer can't say, oh, you don't pay my price, I go to someone else. Because this someone else is the exact same guy, because it's all the same. Huh? You see the problem there? That's why a lot of our domestic farm products get sold, get exported, because then actually can get a price where they can make some money out of it. Also, big problem is that we Dutch have a very lot of rules about how to keep food safe. There's a lot of rules about what kind of pesticide stuff you can use and not use. But then we Dutch are very cheap. So we only buy the cheapest meat. So we don't even buy our own meat. We have to sell our meat as premium meat to outside, because we Dutch people don't eat our own meat. And we buy them the stuff from Morocco and whatever, who will use those bad kind of chemicals because it's cheaper. It's stupid, but that's how we are. We're just stupid. Yeah. Anyways, but yeah, big conglomerates owning owning all the markets underneath and getting some kind of monopoly, even though those little companies are not the same company, because they're under the umbrella of one big company, they're effectively a monopoly. And that is, especially for news or in grocery shops or whatever, it's a big problem. I don't know how to fix that, but in the news, it makes us all susceptible to being manipulated. That's why you should always look to any news kind of facts from different angles, from different sources, in my opinion. So if Trump says X according to this, you see a big sign that says Trump has said X, right? Then you find out what they think he said, and then you go to a different news outlet from hopefully a different owner and check it again, and another one. And best, if they say something about a tweet he posted, find that tweet, because it's Twitter, then you hopefully can find it. And then you can read it for yourself. It's that critical thinking where you check the information you take in to see if it's actually true before you start believing it. That critical thinking is something that's lacking quite a lot, because it requires effort. It is not easy. And it's very easy to just say, the one I like says this, so therefore it must be true, and I have to defend it with my life. That's unfortunately something what a lot of people do. And that's why you get a lot of extremism for people who are only half informed, don't know what they're actually championing, but championing it with all their might because that's who they are, because it's their streamer or their whatever, their politician, whatever it is. And you get a lot of people not knowing what they're screaming about. It's a really toxic situation. And that happens a lot on the internet, it happens in politics, it happens everywhere. It's just a very big deal, actually. Yes. Anyways, I think I dealt with Mr. O. It's fine. He's silent again. Hope you're doing good, man. Anyways, let's continue. But yeah, this is... I saw this piece this morning and I was like, I need to spread this because this is just too important to spread. And I will lose money for this. Yeah, I will.
And that started getting attacked. And so you combine all those factors together, and we saw it over the course of decades.
Mr. O, that's the wrong way round. You said Mr. O forever, and then check the things that I say and see, you are bullshit, Asmo, because this, and this. And then you need 3 things that are separate and stuff, so you can check it out. But yeah, 3 arguments, 3 of them. Anyways, yes.
But obviously it's gotten a lot worse now. And when I watch some of what's going on now, it does not... Look, I don't think what we just witnessed in terms of economic policy and tariffs is going to be good for America, but that's a specific policy. I'm more deeply concerned with a federal government that threatens universities if they don't give up students who are exercising their right to free speech.
And that is censorship. That is why this is so fucking scary. Because they're applying censorship and trying to silence people who disagree with them. And Trump and also Elon Musk are pretty known for this. I know from... I also watch Asmogeddon, and he had this thing with Elon. He apparently they're in contact with each other. They talk with each other, and there was a thing where Elon Musk played games, and he said he was the world's gift of gaming, etc., etc., and he was the best player at some kind of game. I don't really know what game. It was some kind of game, and it came out that he paid people to play the game for him to get his stats high enough, so he would have the account of the highest player, but he couldn't play for shit. And he then played on stream and he didn't know how to play the game. It was pretty obvious. And well, Asmogeddon called him out because Asmogeddon is a pretty big gamer. He knows how games work, and he was like, yeah, dude, this is bullshit because of this, and this. He had proof and stuff about it. And the same day, Musk removed Asmogeddon's status on Twitter. He removed the gamer tag and a few other tags and verified the stuff. He removed that. That's how petty he is. To just remove things like that because they have a disagreement. He's trying to silence or make him less credible so people don't believe Asmogeddon, who is, most people should know, one of the best known World of Warcraft players in the world? I mean, I don't agree with all he says. He does says a lot of heinous shit himself, but he shouldn't be someone trying to undermine someone's credibility by removing arbitrary names and titles from someone after they said something you don't like is pretty awful. That's funny. Dutch guy said something. My worldview, Alanis, he's a messiah. Holy shit! No, Mistro, no. That bad Mistro. No. I mean, if you keep going, I have to actually walk over water and stuff, and I can't. So that would look really bad. So no walking over water here. No, I will not. I refuse. Anyways, thanks to you, Miss O. Yes, I will blame you. I have to go to take a bathroom break because Mr. O almost drowned me. Yes. If you want to undermine Asmongold's credibility, just using his radical could work better. That's true. I've seen that one. He's an interesting character, definitely. I watch him. He's funny as hell, but I don't agree with all things he says. It's good though to watch people you don't agree with. Yeah, it's good because then you know that the argument exists. It's something that Thor, Power Software, also mentioned a lot. He's of course about making games and stuff, but if you are making something or want to implement something, look at all the downsides that people see in it, even if they're untrue, even if they're lies, because then you know, hey, people see it like this. Can I make sure they don't see it like this? You know, it's good to know what's out there, what people believe, even though it might be bullshit and nonsense. You at least know it exists, so you can defend yourself against it, at least somewhat. But yeah, so yeah, also make sure you breach that bubble around you, because I have a big bubble on the internet that is anti-Trump, because I think he's bullshit. But I also watch people who are actually fan of Trump, because then I know what the other arguments are. And then I can see, oh, maybe I've seen things wrong, maybe I've seen things right. And I can then research things. And is that actually correct how that was painted towards me? Because once again, that manipulation thing comes into mind here. I can be manipulated too. So I have to make sure that I don't get, because I'm in this bubble of the anti-Trump bubble, that I don't get lies fed to me that I start believing. There is this thing a while back from Kurt Gesagt, if you know this. And if you're German, you must know this. It is mandatory. You must know Kurt Gesagt. They're amazing. Anyway, it means, the term means in short. And they made a whole video about the length of the human blood vessels, and that they could be about 60,000 miles or 1.5 times around the world, right? That was a known fact. People know this as a fact. And they started researching, is this actually a fact, after they made a video? And it took them a year to find out that people were just quoting each other and each other and each other and each other. And there was no source there. There was no source. They had to go back to the source, which took a year to find in this case, to find out that it was a side thingy that someone who used to be an expert in the 1920s actually did. But it was just a side thing and just calculate, hey, if you do this, then it should be that. And that's a funny little fact, but that's not the main part of his research. So he just made something that was reasonable, but not really researched. And they found out that just everyone believed it was 60,000 miles was incorrect. And there were actually some research recently that it was about 12,000 kilometers, yes, in this case. They use miles and kilometers sometimes to each other. It's pretty hard to follow. Americans, please use kilometers like the English people do. Thank you. Anyway, Imperial system is a hell, man. It's really awful. Yeah, but anyways, Mr. O, once again, I blame you. I go for a quick toilet break. Because, yeah, you. Give me a sec, I'll be right back. Also, give me blah, blah, blah. Let's give you some music in the meantime, because I want to watch this too. Ooh. And all the music, by the way, is from Heartbound. I don't have to say it, but I will. It's from Heartbound, from Thor, Power Software. He's making this game. And we are allowed, because I bought the OST is called. I think it's called the OST on Steam, where you can buy the music and then you're allowed to play this in the background of streams as long as you stream things around it. So if you're streaming and you need background music that is allowed and you do not get sued for, get that. Anyways, give me a second. Magic is better for... I'm reading things. I should not read it. I should go. Distractions. No. As you all know, as soon as you went to the toilet to do that thing, the first thing you need to do, obviously, is grab some more tea to refill, right? That's how you do. Thank you, dude. I love this song, by the way. It's so relaxing. I think it's awesome. There will be a lot of noises here. My apologies for that. Hey, Gablo, dude! How you doing, man? Yeah, I have a face! No, it's a face! Really? He's actually human. No! I lied to you all this time. I don't have fur! No. How doing, dude? How doing, dude? Oh, by the way... Hey, Gamploy. Shall I tell you a secret? I should have done this stream tomorrow. Do you know why? Tomorrow I turn 39. Tomorrow's my birthday. Yeah, I should have done it tomorrow. That should have been a good plan. But I never plan things, so yeah. I mean, I plan things sometimes. But not this time. Not this time. I hope it didn't blow your ears out with putting down the tea kettle, because or a thermos can. Thermos pot? Is it thermos can or thermos pot? Or just thermos? You just forget about it if it's a pot or a can, I don't know. Yeah, I hope it didn't blow your ears out with that. Yeah. But how you doing, dude? How are you doing? Nice, nice. Dude. Dude, what the hell is that? The first two. Camploy, I need some explanations. What the fuck is that? The first two. Holy shit. Holy wow. Okay. Yeah. What the hell? Anyway, Camploy, we're doing politics today. Politics. Because I think this is too important to miss. So I saw this morning and I was like, this is too important not to mention. I do watch a lot of the politics and stuff. Normally I just go to games, just whatever I like. But this is happening right now. We're actually having a historical moment here. This will be written in the history books about the war in Ukraine and Russia, about Trump as president here. Of course, this is Obama. This is not Trump. Not Trump. This is not Trump. This here is the good guy. Okay, not the best face I could have passed on, but this is the good guy. He's not a Trump. And yeah, we're watching a video from Midas Touch Network over here. You can read it? You cannot read it. Midas Touch. It's everywhere, I believe. There. Midas Touch Network, right here. So make sure you like that as well if you like the video. But I thought it was too important not to share. So yeah, it's also in the pinned comments. If you want to see this video for yourself, without me waffling around it, then you can, and by all means do so. Inform yourselves. It's important. Oh, the veteran from the first thing, the Dutch battle is getting older. I mean, that's something I noticed about Obama. When he took office, he still had black hair. And when he left office, he already was pretty gray and full of wrinkles. I think his presidency was really stressful. And I think he worked his ass off to make that work. And he made it work. The economy of America was great after he did his thing. And then Trump came to power. We just took that and was like, oh, nice, I'll keep this. Although this time he actually takes it and then dunks it into the toilet. Yeah, that's what Trump is doing now. Anyway, politics, yes. Which will actually hurt me for my algorithms on the YouTubes and on the Twitch advertisements. You should have had a lot less advertisements because they don't like advertising on political issues because that's political. So you should have less advertisements actually, which means I get less money, but I don't get money anyway. So I mean, I get 50 euros for every half year of my streaming. So yeah, that's nothing. Anyways, interruptions. Musica. So, begun the song. Hey, Zorn. Hey, dude. How you doing, man? And Grumble, good to see you. I do feel Obama gets too much credit, to be honest. Of course, if you compare to Bush and Trump, he's like a saint. But we're two of the worst two presidents. I agree on that front. But what I respect about Obama, for one, in the whole speech so far, he hasn't said the name Trump once. He's not going onto the person. He's going after the things that actually are happening. And he's not going for even policies. He's going for the entire American public. So, as he presents himself here, and as he presented himself in the past as well, what I have seen, and it's my opinion, of course, is that he's a pretty decent man. And both Bush and Trump were, in my opinion, not that. So, he's of course done great things and bad things, and no one is perfect. But did try to implement universal healthcare, which I think America needs. I mean, I know the problem with universal healthcare. I live in a country with universal healthcare, and I have a hard time paying that. I really had times where I could not pay my universal healthcare. I still have people coming at my door to get money from me for universal healthcare because I can't afford it. But on the other hand, I also have this. That's got it. Foot reveal. Can I show this? I'm not sure if it's visible, but can you see this? Not really, right? Big there. Hard to see. Anyways, a big what you call it? Stitches. There used to be stitches. There's now a scar. That's it. I got 2 pins in my feet, each about 10 centimeters, to allow me to walk without pain. That is twice that I had to relearn to walk. It cost me half a year of revelation. Heating up, let's call that heating up, and that would have costed over 100,000 euros, and I could just let that be done. So on the one hand, I benefited greatly from it. On the other hand, at the moment I have no money, so I can't afford it. So I see both problems there. But to allow people who need it to get the procedures they need is really, really valuable. I think it's worth that everyone should pay a little bit. I think it's a lot, but still, a little bit to help out with that. I think that's a good thing. And he tried to implement that. It didn't work, unfortunately, but he did try. And I think he tries to help the people. Whether you agree with all his methods is up to you, but I really think he is trying to help the entire country, not just his own pockets or his own friends. And that alone, I think, makes him far more credible than any president I have seen in the last decade. At least the last decade, longer than that. So you don't have to agree with him, that's fine. But he is, in my opinion, at least a respectable man. And he tries to do well. Which I don't even believe Trump is doing. The trying part. So, but that's my opinion, of course. You are allowed to disagree, but get a good argument for it. Anyways. Face reveal and foot reveal one stream. You will have nothing left off. I have to save something for tomorrow. Maybe I shave tomorrow so I have a chin reveal. And that's the second lie today. Streamers don't have feet. No. It was my fake feet. I wish I had a fake. You know, for private software, they sometimes say he's an AI, and he says he's not AI, and he comes then with those little tiny extra hands he put on his fingers, and he's like, I'm 3 normal hands over here, you know? I wish I had stuff like that, but I don't, unfortunately. I need to get stuff like that, because it's funny. Also, I didn't use a camera before, so, we got, oh, dang it. Now we got another bot. I need to destroy the bot. Give me a moment while I destroy the bot. Report, yes. Report this bot. He's trying to sell views. Who the hell in his right mind buys views? That's completely useless and against what you need. Because they will never buy a sub. They will never support you. They'll never be there. They'll just siphon your money away. I don't see the point. But apparently many people actually do that enough so for them to keep making those things. So I'll just keep banning them. Bam, be gone. Good. Anyway, I couldn't read all of it. That was weird. I couldn't read all of it because it just went too fast with the scrolling. I do feel Obama gets too much credit for the ones forcing better with Trump is a saint, but they were two worst presidents. Yeah, I just did talk about this, so that's good. Yeah, we're good. I didn't miss anything. I don't want to miss you guys' things. I'm here for you guys. That's why I'm here for. Anyways, let's continue with this guy, shall we? I think we shall. Oh, and for the guys just coming in, Camploy, this is a video from Midas Touch. I think I just told that, right? Did I tell that after you came in? Anyway, Midas Touch Network, he made this video. So yeah, make sure you like, comment, and everything. It's in the pinned comments. And I recommend you watch the entire thing at some point, because he's going to talk about some very important things from this point forth. I mean, he already did, but even more important.
I am more troubled the idea that a White House can say to law firms, if you represent parties that we don't like, we're going to pull all our business or bar you from representing people effectively.
They're doing that right now.
That kind of behavior is contrary to the basic compact we have as Americans. Imagine if I had done any of this. Let me just, I just want to be clear about this.
This response is all, right?
Imagine that. Imagine if I had pulled Fox News' credentials from the White House press corps. You're laughing, but no, this is what's happening. Imagine if I'd said to law firms that were representing parties that were upset with policies my administration had initiated, that you will not be allowed into government buildings. We will punish you economically for dissenting from the Affordable Care Act.
You're right, Alucard. That's exactly why I respect this man. He doesn't ever say the name of the guy doing this. Not a single once I've heard him say that. Maybe I've missed it, but I don't think I did. He never goes for the person. He goes about the situation, which is a very powerful and very good way to handle this, I think. I respect him for doing it this way.
Or the Iran deal. We will ferret out students who protest against my policies. It's unimaginable that the same parties that are silent now would have tolerated behavior like that from me, or a whole bunch of my predecessors. So, and I say this not on a partisan basis. This has to do with something more precious, which is, who are we as a country, and what values do we stand for? And now, this is not just an abstraction, and I think this is one of the challenges that we have.
The hard part.
And I saw this even before the last election. I think people tend to think, democracy, rule of law, independent judiciary, freedom of the press, that's all abstract stuff because it's not affecting the price of eggs. Well, you know what? It's about to affect the price of eggs. One of the things that has distinguished us in the past has been this basic idea that we are a rules-based society. What that means is that, you know what, I can support one candidate instead of another, and I don't have to worry that the police are going to come harass me or my customers. That's what happens in other places.
That's a precious thing, that you can say the thing you want and not have to worry about being prosecuted. You're not going to get out of business. You're not going to be stopped by Big Brother or whatever. The fact that you can say what's on your mind, and the people can disagree with that and also say what's on their mind without you being afraid of losing your job, your house, your family, stuff like that. That's a really rare and precious thing in the world. Really rare and precious. So if you think someone is an idiot, tell him. Of course, be ready to duck for a punch then. But yeah, you can tell him. Yes. So do so when you can. Because that's something it's really rare to have. We in the Netherlands have this kind of... I consider it a national sport. We complain a lot. We're extremely annoying and we keep complaining about shit. But that makes sure that people in power have to listen to us complaining. And they try to appease us a bit to get less complaints. Because we keep whining about everything. Even though we have pretty great and pretty awesome, we keep complaining, keep getting them on their toes, so they know, oh, someone's actually listening, someone's actually watching, someone is keeping his eyes on me. What I'm doing is being watched and being followed, and people are like, there's consequence if I say, oh, I want this for my money because my pockets tend to be bigger. And we're like, you stole money from us? You're a pathetic piece of, you get to hear that. We will complain at you. We will whine at you. So don't get in a position where you get whined at. It's something we like to do a lot. Even though it's great, it's actually really fun to whine a bit. It's nice. Sometimes just complaining about shit is nice to do. I know it sounds weird. I am weird. But it is a pretty big right that you can without being persecuted or stuff like that. And I think that, once again, example from streams and stuff. Thor, for example, did something on the internet in, what was it? World of Warcraft. Was some kind of raid, didn't go right, people died, he didn't, and people blamed him. Beside the point how that happened and whose actually fault it was, which I have an opinion about, he got death threats. He got people calling in, what you call them in America, SWAT teams to his house. Twice that happened. SWAT teams were called to his house by people pretending there was an emergency, and they're literally trying to kill him through the police. Stuff like that is fucking scary. Yeah, swatting, you're right, Elicard. That's exactly what happened twice over this stupid game, World of Warcraft. I don't care how much you like a game and stuff like that, but people don't see the consequence of their actions and therefore think that's okay to do that, or to wish for someone to say that they should kill themselves, stuff like that. I mean, I had it mildly when World of Warships, what I played, and I played one of the least liked classes. It was very vilified. The submarine. I loved that. I like to try it. I mean, I like to try things out before I judge. So I tried these things out and I actually enjoyed it. So I played a lot. And I got a lot of death threats, a lot of curses, just for playing a thing in a video game. Now, I'm not big and large and enormous on Twitter or YouTube or anywhere else. So I didn't get doxxed and swatted. But yeah, people are unhinged, man. Absolutely unhinged. So if you can say what you want, even if people disagree, for one, I think at least people should listen to you and then fight the argument, not fight you, fight the argument. But yeah, it's getting to be a scary place to say things that you like. So make use of that right you have as often as you can. Do it, of course, with a little bit of tact. You don't need to insult people all the time. But for example, I'm pretty much against most religions, because I see a lot of religions getting abused by the people who run the religion, and they extort people, they do horrible things to people. So I'm pretty much against religion. Doesn't mean that you can't have a religion and that you can have fun in the religion and enjoy it greatly. By all means do so. But we are both allowed to have our own opinion. And I can say things about it, and you can say things about it. And we can come to, we can have argument. We can even decide to disagree on something, which is fine. It doesn't make me think any less of you, and I hope it doesn't make you think any less of me, that we disagree about the thing. We're two different people, two different minds, and it's good that we are all different. Because if we were all the same, I mean, it would be pretty boring, right? Pretty fucking boring. If we thought the same thing, there wouldn't happen nothing would happen. Nothing would happen. Also, there would be only dudes looking amazing like me. It would be awful. Yeah. But it's good to listen to people who disagree with you. It will teach you also things about yourself. I learned a lot with arguments. Also, it's weird that arguments in English are a row, basically. In Netherlands, an argument is making a case, making a point, having an argument to make. In America, at least in English, it's like you're having fights, which is a pretty bad connotation. Is that connotation? I think it is. To connect to having a point to say. Anyway, but yeah, I like discussing things. So if you have points that are against what I say, as long as you have a good point about it, tell me, because I like to learn. And maybe you can change my mind, because I do allow myself, I do also allow if someone comes with a point against something I said, that I will allow them to win if it's a good argument. Don't get stuck in that foxhole where you can't get out, and all you get is more and more stress to stay in that foxhole, because eventually you'll break. Or you'll do something insane because you get stuck in your foxhole. Don't get stuck in your foxhole. Don't do that. Listen to the rest of the world. Experience the rest of the things, and find out what our arguments are. And maybe you find something, hey, I was wrong, because that is way better. And then you've grown as a person by accepting that you can change. Change is growing. Yeah. Anyway, pretty philosophical here, but you know, it's politics, so yeah, kind of philosophy as well. Anyway, enough yapping.
What happens in Russia? Yeah, we take for granted the idea that we don't have to pay bribes or hire somebody's cousin in order to get a business permit. That's how we built the economy we did. That's why this place worked. And it has very concrete impacts on all of our lives. So, this is the first time I've been speaking publicly for a while. I've been watching a little bit. Yeah. Let me just close this portion of my remarks by saying,
before he closes, one thing that I've noticed a lot about him, he takes his time to think before he says things. He doesn't instantly spout things out. He waits, mulls it over, and then says things. He's actively trying not to insult anyone. He's actually trying to make the right message, then formulate it before he says things. One of the big things about being respected, like he's showing here right now, is take time to say things. Don't spout everything out, which is something I need to learn. I'm not good at that. I need to definitely learn about that. But that's something I admire in him. And I admire in a lot of people that I know that can just wait before responding. Think of the thing before you spout it out. You saw that I'm not a DM. I used to be DM, but that's kind of beside the point, Tutoir. That's kind of beside the point. We're at the moment busy with politics and Mr. Obama here. But welcome to the chat. Welcome to the chat. Sleepy Joe had enough respect during his terms. I do not know who you mean with Sleepy Joe. So, sorry. I don't follow the reference. I mean, I can respect when people actually think about what they say before they say it, especially in public. It is a bit of a thing nowadays with TikTok and stuff. Everything has to be as fast as possible. I know people who make videos that actually edit out every time they breathe to make it more compact so people can pay attention, because people are not anymore able to pay attention because so TikTok has to be now. Something I noticed. I know, but when I saw the D&D, I had to ask. Ah, cool, man. No problem, mate. I love to talk about D&D, but that will be maybe after this video. Maybe after. Because I love D&D. I think it's awesome. I've been playing this for over 20 years. Fuck, I'm old. No, I'm old. Damn it. Anyways, yeah. What point was I making? Distracted. Bad memory. Am I grey already? Chat, am I grey? I might be getting grey. Anyways. I will come back to you later, Tutswar, because that's just beside the point at the moment. We'll come back to the D&D stuff later. But I did play, what was it? There was a setting in D&D with space that I played. What was it again? I forgot the name. It was not D&D, it was a different set of, it was a different tabletop RPG with friends, was completely space. It was really, really cool. I used to be, what was it? A combination between a whale and a slug, but then I had a whole artillery emplacement on my back with machine guns. Yeah, that was me. Head macro reveal, Asmo, don't steal your power on sitting. Camploy, you're here. I'm way too excited. I cannot hold myself in. You can whisper, dude, but it will take me a bit of time to respond to that, so give me a moment. Oh, wait, I missed something. Thanks to internet shorts platforms, lots of young adults can concentrate up to 6 seconds. Yes, indeed. And I blame, and I know this not just me, I blame, for one, advertisements. And I blame, advertisements try to catch your attention everywhere, right? The entire internet runs on advertisements. That's the only way to pay for all this shit. It's not free. That you can watch this and see me in real time at this speed is insane. It's really, really expensive. And I do this on both Twitch and on YouTube at the same time. That's really, really expensive. That I'm allowed to do this is because of ads. So I dislike watching ads, but I do because I know paid for this shit. But the problem with ads is they are psychologically manufactured to get all your attention. And you get it from everywhere nowadays. So your attention goes from left to right, to left to right, to up to down, to up. You know, you never get any time to think. What I've noticed when I started working with my current job as a newspaper delivery boy, I bring around newspapers, so those who don't know, I start this morning at 4 o'clock. I don't have any headphones on. I don't have any telephone near me. I'm just cycling and doing my job. And I get time to think. And it's so nice to have some time where you do not have music around you, no people trying to harass you to get money from you, just to think. I recommend every one of you find some time during the day, an hour or something like that, to allow yourself to just sit or do something menial and allow your brain to process things. Because many of the problems caused that people have with their psyche about ADHD, ADD, all that kind of stuff can be largely, not all of it, largely brought back to the point that they do not get time to process things. And if you get time to process things and actually think about things, you'll solve a lot of your problems because you actually get time to think. And advertisements, as they are actually manufactured to make sure they get all your attention in a short time span, and it breaks your attention whenever you're concentrating on. People can no longer concentrate it's proven, it's been scientifically proven that they have a harder time concentrating now because we get so distracted from everything, because everything is designed to be distracting. So it's no wonder that we have such a big problem with people having all those kind of psychological difficulties, simply because we do not get any rest from any of it. So find your own place, go either meditate, read a book, just take some time ironing your clothes without music on, and just think about the things you need to think about. Process these things. Make sure your head is, well, ready to confront the next part. I noticed when, as I said, I just started 2 months ago. Yeah, 2 months ago with my my morning. I have 3 hours a day in which I just walk newspapers. The first time, of course, I had to learn the route. I was scared of not bringing the wrong paper to the wrong house, and then my tire burst, and then I fix it, and my tire burst again, and there are some things there. But now I can walk this whole route in one go without having to think about it. I know it from by heart. So I get time to think about all the other things that just pile up during the day. And it's really liberating. It's really nice. So take some time and just no distractions. Just do something menial you need to do anyway. Not too much loud noise. I don't think it works well with vacuum cleaning because that makes a lot of noise. Just nothing that gets in the way. Just take some time for yourself and think about whatever comes to mind. It will help you. It will 100% help you. I know that feeling for my first time. Can't for long to stream. I mean, yeah, indeed. I understand. I have this problem also when I play a game. I'm not the best gamer in the world. I mean, sometimes I am, but usually I'm not. And then also I have to pay attention to stream chat 1, stream chat 2. Is my stuff working? Is there anything that I've missed in chat that I need to look up? Stuff like that. And while I'm playing a game, which is distracting, it's pretty difficult. But I'm getting better at it, slowly. Slowly getting better at it, but it's a lot of practice. But just having a time of day just to ground yourself. I think ground yourself is a good way to think about it. And just let things go around in your mind and see what you think of things instead of just having all these impressions in your face shoved in by X, by Z. Think this is amazing, think this is awful. Just take some time to think what you think and not what they push in your brain. I think that's just a good thing to do. That's why I love my garden so much. Well learned to love it because there's nothing, no noise, no people, just birds, instant peace. Yes, you can think about stuff. You're on your own. It's really battery filling just to be away from all the daily noise. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly the point, Kemploy. That's why. Yeah. That's why you can do you can discuss in Discord. Discord is actually the best place because then other people can join in because there's a lot more people playing D&D. I'm pretty sure they want to join in. So yeah, Discord is always open. I think !Discord should still work, or socials, one of them. I'm curious if it still works. Yeah, it works. There it goes. There's the Discord. Welcome in. And we can talk about the D&Ds all you want over there. No worries, man. You didn't interrupt. It was just not something I was busy with at the moment. So yeah, you know. But you're always welcome, man. Thanks for being here, dude. I appreciate you all. I appreciate you all making time for this, because this is something I don't normally do. This is politics and philosophy and life choices and mistakes. You know, not something I do normally. Also, this face is new, as Kempler pointed out. It's a new face. Next week we have a new face. Plastic surgery. Let's go. No, I can't afford it. Anyways. Let's break is over. Thank you for the stream as always, and see you tomorrow. What nice costume will you wear for us? I actually have a lot of costumes. I am a nerd, as you know, and I used to go to festivals, fancy festivals, and I used to make every time I went to a festival, I made a different suit with weapons, with everything on it, the whole shebang. So I have quite a lot of suits actually. I don't think many of them fit anymore because I have lost. I've gained a bit of a bit of a blubber there. Because I'm no longer sporting, what was it, 24 hours a week? I used to do high-level gymnastics and ballroom dancing, and then had a job that also required me to do a lot of physical work. So I was really strong, yes. But that's about a decade ago. Now I'm fat. What? Anyways, hey, Kepler, thanks for being here. You're awesome. Enjoy the garden. And hopefully see you tomorrow, man. Have a good one. Anyways, distractions. Distractions. I love distractions. From you guys, not from the other things. Anyways, let's continue. Whatever it is, be aware to cover your nipples. Just like nipples. Except you're breastfeeding. Breastfeeding? What? On Twitter? No, thank you. No, thank you. Also, what the hell? Who would do? Nah, never mind. I will not even ask. I will not even ask where you disappear to, Gameplay, after you see my stream. You're going to some very interesting places, I'd say. Very interesting places. It's in the US. Breastfeeding is okay. He's defending himself, chat. He's defending himself. That means he's actually watching that kind of stuff. Gameplay. Gameplay. Boy. Interesting kink. Not mine, though. Employees' reputation is in shatters now. Play the video already. Play the video already. Sure. I will play the video, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, boss. Anyway, let's go.
It is up to all of us to fix this. It's not going to be because somebody comes and saves you. The most important office in this democracy is the citizen.
Here you should say, in my opinion, you should say you. Because it's you and me. And I failed here. I failed this part here. This part I failed at. Because we had elections about 1.5 years ago. And I didn't go. I was an idiot, an imbecile, and didn't use my right to vote. And now we have a prime minister who's extremely right. Is that correct, right? Yeah, that's right for you. Yes, right. That's right. You're right. And yeah, I don't think I would have voted for him. No, I should have voted, because then I could complain. Now I can't complain because I didn't vote. So I'm an imbecile. I'm dumb. I'm stupid. Vote if you can. Anyways, let's go.
Ordinary person who says, no, that's not right. And I do think one of the reasons that our commitment to democratic ideals has eroded is that we got pretty comfortable and complacent. You know, it has been easy during most of our lifetimes to say you are progressive, or say you are for social justice, or say you're for free speech, and not have to pay a price for it. And now we're at...
How many of you have actually had some kind of conviction that you were for a vegetarian, or you were anti something, whatever, and you actually went to a place to try to get it enforced? Because I went to some what do you call them? They're not riots. That's way too extreme. I went to some. I went a few times to Den Haag to protest. That's it, word. To protest about things in education. I went there because I believe it was important to do. So if you have something you think is important, make sure that thing stays good, or try to help in the process to improve it. Because if you don't stand up for your rights, if you don't stand up for what you believe in, then what worth does it have? No one will know that you believe in it because you do not show it. And the best way to influence politics as a non-politician is to show off that you care. And not saying go violent and nonsense. I'm saying protest peacefully, respectfully, but make sure that your voice is heard and that people know that there's people who think like you do. Because if you sit at home and never do anything with politics, then no one will know and no one will see that there's protests against something or people disagree with it. So if it's important to you to keep something in a way or to prevent something going wrong, let them know. Don't sit at home and laugh about people who are protesting. They're actually trying to change the whole thing in such a way that it will benefit them and usually a lot of others too. So don't laugh at protesters unless protesters are breaking things and being completely destructive and stupid. But a peaceful protest is a very good thing. And I personally think that everyone should have at least been to one of them. At least one. For something you actually believe in and think it's important that it stays the same or changes or whatever you believe in. Because to show that you care is important, because else they will never know. Else no one will ever know that you had a feeling about this, and then you can complain about later, but you never try to change it either. You know? So it's important for the political spectrum that your voice is heard. Even though you're one voice in millions, your voice counts and it's important because it can grow, because you're never alone. You're never alone. So make sure to at least try to go to one of them once. It doesn't have to be big. It has to be extremely life-threatening or whatever. Life-threatening is the wrong word. Life-changing. But experience that you can protest if you can. And if it's something that you care about, of course, try to do it once in your life. Once in your life, you will find something you're like, I disagree with them doing this, or I agree with them doing this. That's also good. Let them know it's good. That's also a good thing. It's really weird to protest and say, you're doing the right thing. But actually, they should hear sometimes you're doing the right thing. What I sometimes do on Twitter, I am a big fan of a lot of series and stuff. Mostly Star Trek, for example. And I'm a big fan of Quark. And what I do, small thing that I do, is sometimes I send a message to the guy and saying that he's amazing, did the right thing, etc. Positive reinforcement is something that we lack in this world. So, especially men, by the way. So if you see something doing a great job, tell them they're doing a great job. Let them know that you appreciate what they're doing. And it will change for them their entire day or week. And it's very nice to know if you're doing something right. Which is what people normally don't share. They normally are like, this bad, this bad, this bad. And the rest is good, but they don't say that. Or this is great, but they don't say that. There's a lot of negative reinforcements in the world. It's in jobs, it's on schools, it's everywhere. But positive reinforcement is where to find. Be the positive force in your life. Yeah. I never really. I just did my thing and thought, if I do the wrong thing, people will stop me. In my youth, very much on purpose and enforced. True. I can see that. I think it's important to know that you can do things and that you should not feel like your voice doesn't matter. Many people feel their voice doesn't matter. I'm just one. Who cares? And I've had the same feeling as well. We all like that. But your voice does matter. Your thoughts do matter, and you are important. Let no one take it away from you. And if you have an opinion about something that's strong enough, do something with it, or against it, or for it. But do something. Don't sit there and stew and like, I don't like this, but I can't move. Don't stay there then. Get out of the boiling pots into a better place. I've worked as a prefab concrete manufacturer. I used to work in one of those factories. It was awful. Everyone in that place hated their job, but none dared to leave. It was the most horrible place I've ever worked at. Not because people were horrible, they were not. The job was not great, but also not horrible. But people hated their job so much that the entire atmosphere was awful. And people stayed there because they were afraid, I can't pay my bills if I don't go. Find a job that pays similarly or slightly better and move then. Don't just quit your job and then look. No, first you look, get the safety, you have the contract, sign it, then you leave the other job. But go somewhere where you can be happy. And don't just sit there and you're like, I cannot do anything, my voice doesn't matter, and I'm stuck here. Don't be that. That's a waste. You only got one life. Every day you waste like that is a day waste because you only got one of those days. Your life is important. Live it happily as you can. And if possible, by not harming others. You know? That's just my opinion. It's of course easily said, harder done. I know. I changed a lot of things. I've actually quit the job that way, in the stupid way, because someone made me angry. I did. I needed that job. I needed the money, but I left. It was I used to be the head baker actually in a La Place restaurant. It was a new one here, not too far away, and I was the head baker. I was the guy about the bakery. It was me and one other person. The other person was always working when I didn't work, so I wasn't head of much, but I was head of the bakery, so fine. And I did my thing, and there was this boss coming in, and I have to say it differently. I was doing my job and making all the dough and stuff, right? I'm just making my dough, and people can watch you in La Paz. They can see you work. So I was making my dough, preparing everything for the day after. Because as a baker, you make stuff for the day after. It has to rise a night before you can use it. So I was doing that. Critical work. If I made mistakes or did something wrong, it ruined the entire bread for the day after. So I did my thing. Next to me was a pizza guy who made pizzas. But he wasn't at his place. I know people asking for pizza, and I say, I'm sorry, I can't help you. I can't make pizza. I was not taught how to make a pizza. I cannot make a sellable pizza. I don't have the quality for that. And then a few minutes later, that boss came by and got angry with me. Why didn't you make a pizza? I never learned how to make the pizza. Why didn't you search for the guy? I'm busy doing my work. He was just putting it on me. That was my mistake that guy was not there, which was wrong. Then he got all angry and he sent me to search for the guy. I was dumb enough, naive enough to actually do that. I should not have done that. I should have continued my work and said, you search for him because it's your job. But I didn't. And he came back at me a few times, making all kind of insults over my work, that my work was not correct, I was doing things wrong, etc., even though I was doing exactly as I was taught. So I did exactly what I could do. And it got to such a point that I had the choice, because I get pretty angry at those moments. And when I get angry, I use these, which is not something you want to use at work. So I had a choice either to hit him in the face, which I really, really wanted. Oh, I want to hit that guy in the face. But I was like, oh wait, I can grab my apron, put it over my head, and throw it at him and say, you do it. And I left. I'm proud that I left and didn't mash his face into a pulp, which I really want to do. Oh man, I want to do that. So I'm really proud of that. But I did quit my job on the spot because that guy was insufferable. It was not something smart to do. I could have caved in and oh sorry, I'm so sorry about whatever. I could have done all that part, and I would not have respect myself and would have hated working there forever. Or I could have gone to the boss itself, gone to the higher boss and talk this thing over. Yeah, I'm glad I left there. I'm glad I did that. I'm glad I didn't hit that guy in the face, which oh, I was there. I wanted to, but I'm glad I didn't. But yeah, I know the feeling of leaving a place, and then I left the place and I needed the money and I had no job, and I was like, I actually felt really good. It was a relief to leave that place after that whole anger nonsense. And yes, I had to look for a job. Yes, it was stressful, but I did get to a better place afterwards. You can change how things go. You can change where you earn your money. You can change all things. Just try to be smart about it and don't just leave on the spot if you don't have to. Try to find something before you leave, because your financial stability is important. But yeah, change the things you don't like about your life. Change the things you don't like about your life, because else you will not like your life. And you only get one of those. Singular one. And the MC is you. You are the MC. So become strong. Become knowledgeable. Become good. Reminds me of first paid job in a call center. Ooh, call centers. I've heard stories about those. I've never worked in one. I did apply for one, but then I found out I hate being called by call centers. So I'm not very good at being a call center guy, because I don't like being called by call centers. I used to also do door-to-door salesman. I used to sell, what was it? Energy contracts for energy, water, gas, and stuff like that. Oh, we got a hiccup there. Can you still hear me? Oh, we got the internet saying no. Internet? Hello, internet? Are you okay, internet? Oh, it moves again. It moves again. I lost the internet there for a second. My apologies. Internet said what? Yeah, subsequent of Vodafone, 5 out of 5. Isn't that a good thing? I don't know what 5 out of 5 means in this case. But yeah. Call centers are interesting. You get all the problems and people are angry at you. I've heard of it. I actually want to join a call center. Not actually IT support. I want to get into IT. Yeah. 5.5 is a call out for radio contact to ground control. Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, 5.5, okay. To ground control. Interesting. I used to be a plane nerd. I used to do a lot of going from VOR to VOR before the whole GPS thing. So I did do a lot of simulations in planes, but never had the callouts. So 5.5 is new to me. I've learned something today. I've improved, thanks to you. I have to check if you're lying or incorrect. Oh, it's all something you have to think about. People usually don't try to lie to you, but people can be incorrect. So believe the people who say things to you, but check them to see if they're right, because people make mistakes, you know. Okay, now I'm irked. People in chat, we need some grammar Nazis. We need some grammar Nazis on that stat. I need some grammar Nazis. Yes. You're without an apostrophe there. No. Sorry about it, dude. I saw it was like, no, my inner grammar Nazi's like, no, we can't have that. Anyway. Yeah. I have to go to the bathroom again. I blame Mr. O. This is innocent. It's Mr. O. 5 of 5 is the best of 25 possible subjective response used to describe the quality of communications, especially the signal to noise ratio. Okay. That's complete news to me, sir. And it seems like it's is that Wikipedia? It looks like Wikipedia to me. Anyway, give me a moment. I go for a quick toilet break. I give you some music. I'll go for a quick bathroom break. Mr. O. Grrr. Give me a second. Military Wiki fan page. Yeah, cool. I love reading those things, man. They're so cool. There's also a lot of bullshit in there. Also, did you know, if you want to know all America's secrets, you should join the War Thunder wiki, I believe. Because they do spread a lot of Russian and American state secrets there to show off how well they know their plane or tank. Yeah, actual state secrets. People are stupid, especially on the internet. Anyways, give me a sec. have arrived, chat. Oh, websites. Well, look, I had to unfortunately make sure that we can't do websites on stream because people would put all kind of nonsense in there. Maybe I could put websites on again, links on for subs. I could do that, but I also get all kind of bots spouting in all their nonsense all the time, so I can't have that just there. So yeah, sorry, you can't put the link in there. You can also put a link on the Discord, maybe. You can do that. But I have too many bots going around doing nonsense to allow for that kind of stuff, unfortunately. Sorry about that. My apologies. Ah, delicious. I like tea way too much, man. Tea's way too good. Anyway, what did I miss? Oh, League Thunder. Yes, League Thunder. That's actually a good name for them. Didn't know the name was a thing. League Thunder, yes. all the secrets, all the military secrets. Yeah. Anyways, musica. Let's turn it off. Let's continue with the main subjects. His Royal Highness, this guy. His official name, this guy.
One of those moments where, you know what, it's not enough just to say you're for something. You may actually have to do something and possibly sacrifice a little bit. So, yeah, if you're a law firm being threatened, you might have to say, okay, we will lose some business because we're going to stand for a principle. If you are a university, you may have to say, figure out, are we in fact doing things right? Have we in fact violated our own values, our own code, violated the law in some fashion? If not, and you're just being intimidated, well, you should be able to say, well, that's why we got this big endowment. We'll stand up for what we believe in, and then we'll pay our researchers for a while out of that endowment, and we'll give up the extra wing or the fancy gymnasium that yeah, we can delay that for a couple of years, because, you know, academic freedom might be a little more important. For most of human history, and to this day in most of places in the world, there is a cost to challenging the powers that be, particularly if they're abusing that power.
A large amount of the world.
And this idea, and I've noticed this among some wealthier folks who, you know, after George Floyd, they were right there, and a bunch of companies were talking about how they cared about diversity and they wanted to do this and they were all for that, and they are mute right now. But what that tells me is it was okay when it was cool and trendy, and when it's not, not so much. And that, I think, is what we have to, each of us has to examine in our own hearts. Is all right, we say we're for equality. Are we willing to fight for it? Are we going to risk something for it? We say that we're for rule of law. Are we going to stick to that when it's tough, not when it's easy?
That's the hard part. Standing for something that you believe in when it actually gets threatened or actually gets challenged is something people are no longer used to do. I mean, it's not difficult to do. It's with risk, with costs. But that's the point. Is it worth preserving? And if you're like, I'm completely against, completely for animal rights or something, whatever. But you never do something with that, and when animal rights get threatened and you don't do anything, then are you standing for it? I don't think you are. You want it to be, you have an ideal, but you're not doing anything with it. So there is no consequence to your ideal, there's no substance to it. So if you have a big thing that you think this must be good or must be in such a way, you have to be, in my opinion at least, ready to defend it when it needs to. And that is usually the hard part. Not when it gets trendy and fashionable and, you know, it's when it gets threatened and gets about to be shoved under. That's when you need to step up and save the thing that you think is worth saving, or prevent the thing that you think is worth preventing. Which is not an easy thing. It's not easy. But if you don't, who will? There's not going to be a superhero just flying around like Superman, da, 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 saving your ass. No. That's you, not some Superman. So, stand for your principles. If I want something done, and something's being threatened that I think is important enough, you can't fight for everything. You don't need to don't need to either. So a simple thing could be, for example, you are for animal rights, right? But you don't have the time to actually go to protest. You can donate towards a group that does, or become a member of them. And the best thing is to try to join one of those protests if it is something you care about. But actually act, and not just sit back and I'm for this and I'm for that, and it's now fashionable to be for this or for this as well. And it's like you're a good weather advocate. It's only for when it's good for you and looks nice, then you are it. But there's no substance, there's no depth to any of it. So find out what you find important, what you think is vital, and try to keep it good. And it could mean that you don't have to act because it might never be threatened. Great, hey, you're good. But if it gets threatened, be there for it. Try to help it out. If you have children, for example, you might want to stand up for teachers' pays. Because if teachers get worse pay, teachers already get overworked, at least here in the Netherlands, they get overworked with low pay and have to do a lot of work outside of school on their own time. Yeah, if schools get worse, then as a parent, I think you should try to help them get better. So if teachers' pays are being threatened, be there with them, because if the teacher doesn't get paid, your child doesn't get education, and your child's future is in jeopardy. So, you know, the point I'm making is just don't only sit on your ass all day, says the streamer. Yeah, I know. Don't just only sit on your ass all day. Do something if you think something needs to be done about something. Yeah. Act. And not violently. Absolutely not violently. Act wisely.
We believe in freedom of speech. Do we stand up for freedom of speech when the other person talking is saying stuff that infuriates us?
Mm-hmm. That's hard.
Is wrong and hurtful. Do we still believe in it? And that, for university students and for your generation, I think that's important, because part of how we got confused around some of these issues is that those who claimed to be fighting on behalf of social justice and freedom of speech and equality, sometimes we didn't observe it ourselves. I'm glad to hear that on campus here you focus on what Common Ground Initiative. I have been absolutely clear throughout my presidency, post-presidency, the idea of canceling a speaker who comes to your campus, trying to shout them down and not letting them speak, even if I find their ideas obnoxious, well, that's...
He wanted to say the word bullshit here. I'm 100% sure. He was like, no, obnoxious. I'm in front of people, I can't say bullshit. Yes, he thought about it. He was almost there.
That's not only is that not what universities should be about, that's not what America should be about. You let them speak and then you tell them why they're wrong. That's how you win the argument.
And that is the most important quote I think you can get from him. Let them speak and then tell them why they're wrong. That's something people are... They don't know that. They don't realize that. In proper arguments, you let the other guy talk, and then you get a better argument. You don't overshout them. You don't stop them. You actually find a better argument to counteract his argument, if he has one. Which is rare nowadays. Normally it's just a shouting contest. Who shouts loudest, you know? It's not very good shouting contests.
You know, the sort of the delicacy of sensibilities in classrooms. Michelle and I talk about this all the time. Let me tell you, you will deal with people in the world who don't like you and say mean things about you. You better get used to it.
Yep.
Don't be in the classroom thinking, I can't be triggered, and then you think you get on the job. You will have horrible bosses on occasion. Or coworkers who say obnoxious things.
Who recognize this? I need an eye from people who recognize this. Obnoxious persons, obnoxious colleagues, or horrible bosses. That's one eye. That's one eye. Actually, that's 3 eyes at the very least. At the very least, 3 eyes for me. Yes. That happens a lot. Get used to it.
And it may turn out that in some cases they're actually good people that just didn't use the right word for something.
Yep.
Or need to be educated on something. Well, you need to get used to that here. So some of these principles are ones in which it's not just one side or the other that hasn't been true to I think, our founding principles. I think in some cases we've all been guilty of it, some more than others. And it's important now for us to refocus our attention on who are we and what we believe.
Well, good timing. Anyways, that's also an important point he makes, that no one sees himself as the villain. I mean, I sometimes jokingly say I'm evil, but I don't see myself as a villain. I try not to be a villain. I don't want to make people have discourse and hate and stuff, but I will say wrong things. So do realize yourself when you are being obnoxious to someone else. Realize that it's not an easy thing. It's really hard to see when in the moment you're saying this is how it is because this is smart and more intelligent, and then the way you say things and what you say, usually the way you say things is more important than what you say. And try to realize when you are, oh wait, I'm doing this wrong, and then apologize and restart in a way that is not offensive. Not offensive is the wrong word because that's being overused. Not abrasive. Let's say that. So yeah, realize when you are the bad actor there, which is hard to do. You have to realize what you're doing. You have to realize what you're saying, to whom you're saying it, and how they're responding, which is hard to do through internet and stuff. It's better face to face, because you see facial expressions. You're like, he's responding, or he's angry, and stuff like that, you know. But yeah, realize that sometimes you are the bad actor, and try to find out. Oh, now I'm the bad actor. Reset this, mend the relationship with the other guys. Try to say, oh, I'm sorry, I got off too strong or something like that, and find a way to make a case without being abrasive to the guy, because very likely it's a colleague of yours or a boss of yours or whatever, and you have to work and see him the next day. You don't want to come in as people who have an argument, a fight, and that always goes wrong. So find ways around it. I remember another story of that concrete factory I used to work in, where everyone had a horrible time. I was controlling a crane. I had a crane, and I had to bring prefab concrete slabs, and I had to pile them together without breaking them, and to make them ready for transport somewhere else. That's what I did. So I just put them on to each other, put blocks in between them, stuff like that. And I put them together. And I had this guy who was running on his half truck, his forklift, and he took it off and put it in the right place. That's what his job was. And he was looking angrily at me. And I did my job. I was like, why is he looking angry at me? So I stopped my work when he came closer. Said, oh wait, I see you're looking not too happy about this. Is there something I can do to make your work easier? Because I want to work with you, not against you. And he was confused. You actually saw him taken aback, because no one asked him what he liked. No one asked him how I could help him. He was just used to the people just ignored him and did things their way. And apparently I put my concrete too close to a wall where it's for very hard for him to reach him. So I had to do a double take to get it. So he said, well, if you can move it there, I'm fine. Then I moved it there. And since then I moved it there. And he was suddenly my best friend because I asked him what he wanted. And he got what he wanted because we conversed. So realize when you are the bad actor, even though it's very slightly sometimes, and try to fix it because you get, well, he was a great colleague afterwards. The only good colleague I had on the whole job because I talked about it a moment ago. But yeah, sometimes just misunderstandings or little things that can creep up and irk. And even though I might not have been the first guy to use that crane to help him out, apparently there have been a lot of them who just ignored the guy. And he was always having to get the short of the stick without daring to speak out. And yeah, by just conversing about him, it cost me 5 minutes. It made his day and his entire week because he was a lot happier going to work. 5 minutes. It's all took. Just, he looks angry. Can I help you? That's all I need to do. That was all it took. It can be so small to do and it can have such a big effect to all of it. So help people out and find out when you can improve and can make other lives better. If it is, oh, I have to put it 5 centimeters to the right to help you. Sure. No, it doesn't matter to me. It's easy. Asking is free and doesn't hurt. Indeed, actually, 9 out of 10 times it helps. 9 out of 10 times it helps. Not every time, of course. There's always cases, but 9 out of 10 times, at least listening to someone's reasoning, even if you disagree with it, just listening the guy out and letting him speak, might already assuage a lot of the hostility because you're actually listening to him, and make sure you are actually listening to him. And smart move. You remember this? What I just made? This thing here. Once again, do this. Do this. He's talking to you. You're talking to him. Get next to him. Slowly walk that you're side to side. So you are psychologically working together instead of against each other. That thing, little thing there. You're standing and talking to someone, and you just move a little bit to the left and say, "Oh, you talk about that," and then you both look in the same direction. And now you're working together. I have to do it this way. Now you're working together instead of working against each other and faced. I have to do that. Yeah. And that helps so much. That helps so much. So yeah. And sometimes use a little thing like that. It doesn't have to be big or gigantic or anything. Morning is, hey Zero dude, how you doing, man? Good to see you, dude. Why don't you teach? I just taught this morning. I finished teaching my students just before I started the stream. I'm a tutor as a side job. So yeah. So I do teach. I do. And I'm also teaching you. Zero, can you feel your brain expanding? Can you feel your brain becoming bigger? More girthy? Oh god, oh yes, oh god. We are. Let's see. The two things in the world I can't stand. People who are intolerant of other people's cultures and the Dutch. God damn it. Damn you! I do have to say, I love the Austin Powers movies. They were hilarious. I laughed my ass off with them. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, but that helps a lot. Just communication is 9 out of 10 times the problem. And the way how you approach it, how subtle or unsubtle you can be. And sometimes you have to show people that you're not just getting stuck in the corner and like, oh, I don't dare to speak to you. No, it's scary. That gets you put in the corner. And they're like, I can put them in the corner. Well, that's no longer my problem. So they'll put you in the corner. So sometimes you have to be, I'm here and I have an opinion. Ooh, look at my pecs. Big pecs. Anyways. Anyways. Distractions. My own boobs. Anyway. Yes. But sometimes you have to show that you're there and that you have an opinion. And have to show that you are standing for your opinion. Doesn't mean you have to stand for your opinion and fight. No, that's not the thing. That you want to talk about it and make it better for both of you. That's important. That's general knowledge about the Dutch. You. You, Zero. Grr. How dare you? No tea for you, sir. I'll drink it. You can't have this. It's mine. Unless you make your own. Also, it's cold. I actually like cold tea, so that's fine. Yes. That's the end of the video. I'll let this play off. Of course, as I said before and a few times before, this is a video made by Midas Touch. I could put the links both in YouTube and Twitch in pinned comments, so you can watch it there. Please like it if you enjoyed it, and I recommend you watch this yourself if you have missed a part of it, because I think this is mostly about speech from Obama, and I think it's really important people see this, because it talks about so many social issues right now, not just America. America is just a little part of it. The fact that he does not even mention Trump's name once, that alone is already part of its brilliance. But yeah, there's so many things that he points out, and of course you can also rewatch the VOD from me with all my commentary. But yeah, make sure that you like this guy's video if you enjoyed it, because I think it's really important that this kind of information comes out, because this is stuff that gets hidden away and no one gets to see it, and then it gets lost in the deluge of other kind of information. And what is it? Attention grabbers over here. For example, something I dislike. I do watch a lot of this Trump stuff going on the American economy and the European economy and stuff. But I do have to say that at the moment it's well, okay. There's me. Hello, me. Trump. Politics. I get a bit overloaded on Trump stuff. Bit of overload on Trump stuff and politics at the moment. so information like that is important, that you get the right stuff. So yeah, I'll put the link in. I mean, the link is already in chat, but I'll put it in chat anyway, because I think it's important. Go forth and spread the message. It's important. There we go. Well, seeing it from the overseas perspective, sort of disappoints. I mean, you're not disappointing me. You are not. Anyways, that was the video I want to share. That was the message I want to spread out, because I saw this before the stream, and normally I'm not into politics stuff and I don't do that often. If you want me to do more, let me know. But yeah, I thought it was too important not to share, because this stuff needs to come out, because this is not just America, not just Trump. This is a very big part of all societies at the moment, that I noted at least. Especially on the internet. It's in the Netherlands, it's in Europe, it's in America, it's everywhere. Is the, what you call it, the degeneration? That might not be, no, the erosion of respect, the erosion of seeing people as people, the erosion of allowing others to say their piece, even if you disagree. The erosion of turmoil, that would be good. Erosion of turmoil would be good right now, but I don't think we get erosion of that. The turmoil is a good word. It's a pretty good word, man. I love that word. Yeah. But yeah, that was something I thought was important to share. I thought it was important that people would know about and spread out. And even though I'm pretty small and stuff, so it will only be to a few people, I think it's important to spread this. I think it's important to all of us. Because in the end, we talk about politicians like there's someone else and some kind of person doing somewhere unreachable. At least here in the Netherlands, and I think in many other places, you can become that guy if you work hard for it. Or you can contact that guy if you work hard for it. I actually used to work at a small paper, not paper's the wrong word, magazine. I used to make my own magazine with a firm, and I had to call a lot of people and to get in contact with people. I made a magazine called School and Construction. Yeah, all about constructing school and stuff. And I didn't last long there, so we had one thing, and then it was the end for me. But it's fine. I'm not a very good phone salesman, but I am pretty good at making contacts. And one of the first things I decided to do, because I was in charge of that, was, well, if I'm talking about schools and about construction, I think the most important thing to do is get in contact with people who actually decide things about that. So I decided to call up the Minister of School of Education in the Netherlands. And it took me 30 minutes and I had a private phone number. And I called her. Just out of the blue. You can do that too. I was just the guy just started his job, was like, what's important to this? What would be a new thing to this? Well, if we talk to the freaking minister, the one who rules it in this country, so let's do that. And that got, well, 30 minutes. I had the phone number and was talking to her. You can get in touch with your representative as well, or you can become the representative, but that's a bit more work. So yeah, your voice matters. And you can talk with many politicians about their views and things, as long as you are respectful, of course. So if you think something needs to be looked at, if you want to know something, call them. Because the fun thing about politicians is they are very good and usually love networking. So network with them, because you can. I know it's weird. Now don't go stalking them, don't go doing nasty things, just try to get in touch with them, and usually you can. And state your piece, and 9 out of 10 times you get a response from the person themselves, because they love the networking. They like to see how the people who vote for them or against them think about things, because then they know what to expect and what to look out for. Your voice matters. It's the most important thing I can bring out here. Yeah. That's right. I once had contact with the House of Commons here in the UK. Exactly. Our voices, as Obama here already stated, the most important office in politics is the citizen. You and me and everyone else. We are the ones who get them into power. We are the ones to allow them to have that power. We are the ones who are their bosses. Similar to Twitch, by the way, or YouTube. Because without you, I couldn't do this. So you are all my bosses. Hello, boss. That's how it works. And of course, I have immediate feedback, because you can immediately say, Asmo, you're an idiot. Asmo, you look bold. Asmo, you're so handsome. You know, you can say all those things. And I instantly see that. Yes. So know that. Get this main character of Twitch. Yay. I mean, you are Alucard. You are. Also, I love that anime. Oh, I watched it so many times. Alucard is awesome, man. Yeah. Oh, which one do you prefer? The normal one or the abridged one? I think they're both amazing. I do love the normal one a bit more, but the abridged one, the big problem is, if I laugh a lot, I hurt my throat. And the abridged one makes me laugh too much. But admit it, us Dutch are very politically minded because we are a small nation. Is that the reason? I mean, we are a small nation, 100%. And a lot of our politics is looking outward because, well, we are small. I mean, where I live, I can walk towards the German or the Belgian border within an hour and can go to both countries. And if I really put my time into it, in 3 hours I'm in France. So we are very dependent on what happens around us. We're very small. But I'm not sure if it's because we are small, but it might be a factor. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But it's important to be invested in your politics because it will affect you. And I'm invested in this politic. I mean, of course, this Obama, he's, in my opinion, a pretty great dude. But because what Trump is doing will affect me in the Netherlands. And I did not vote for him. I didn't have a chance to vote for him or against him. It will affect me and my wallet. So it will affect you very likely as well. So it's important to know these things. Don't be shut in your, I'm only looking at this little part of the world, this little box thingy, this little self-made bubble of information. Step out of it and find more information about what's actually affecting you. And the big guys, you can reach them all. Yeah. Start smoking then. Oh, no, Zero. I'm highly allergic to most things, and smoking is, well, let's just say I can't handle smoke. So for me, smoking is an awful scent. I hate smoking. Disgusting. Bah. I actually had a test on biology, and I'm a biology genius. I actually saved up how many grades I could get above a 10. Here in the Netherlands, we have a grade from 0 to 10, usually 2 to 10. They usually don't get below 2. And I actually had a challenge for myself, and how many grades I can get above a 10, a 10 plus, 10 and a half. Even I even made it into getting an 11 for a test once because they gave some free points at the start, and I had everything else right. So I said, then I should get a free point, right? And it's like, If it's only for God and stuff. I don't believe in God. You said you can get the point there. It's mathematically correct to give me the point. I want the 11. And I got an 11. Yes. But I'm a biology nerd. That's me. Smoking gives mucus. It protects against rough throats. No. It's actually putting tar in your lungs. And I had to do a test on this about smoking, and I hate smoking. So I looked it up and actually did research. There's over 80 different compounds, and I mean 80, which are all proven to be cancer-inducing. All of them. 80. And there's a lot more, there's a lot more stuff in there. Many of the other stuff are there to make you addicted. Yeah. So, no, bad. Semantics. I mean, yes, but still, it's bad for you. Stop doing that. Stop polluting my air. Also, alucard isn't just an anaglyph. It is also chemically interesting. In that case. Oh, yeah, you're right. Aluminium, uranium, calcium. Is it rubidium? RD, I'm not sure about. Is it rubidium? It could be. I believe it's radioactive, right? Rubidium. Stop smoking years ago? Good. Stop smoking is really hard, I hear. I mean, I never had to do it, but it's really hard, I hear. So, good on you, man. Well done. Well done, dude. I'm proud of Zero. Chat, can we get some applause for Zero? He's awesome. He's amazing. He stopped smoking and he hasn't smoked since. It's great. Dude, you're amazing. I'm proud of you. I hear it's very hard. Radium. Could also be radium. No, RA is radium. I forgot. I mean, getting rid of addiction is a hard thing, dude. Don't just waltz over that. My grandfather used to smoke. We call it chain smoking, which actually also chain smoke in English. Cool. Chain smoke, more than 3 packages a day. He once got a message from the doctor that he had to stop because he was having a cancer, and he stopped on the spot. Threw away his cigarettes and stopped on the spot. I don't think I've ever heard of anyone ever doing that. That just from a complete chain smoker, 2 or 3 packages a day, to 0 instantly, and never ever touched a cigarette. That's dedication, man. That's my grandpa. I mean, he's no longer here, but yeah, he was a pretty strong-willed man, though. He was. What is RD then? I'm curious. What is RD? I mean, the rest I understand. Aluminium, uranium, calcium. Also, what would you make of that? I mean, aluminium, uranium, and calcium. You don't really use calcium much in construction. It's mostly in stone and in, of course, your bones. Aluminium, uranium, and uranium, we know it for, of course, nuclear bombs, but it's also just simply heavy. You have radioactive uranium and non-radioactive uranium, or less radioactive, I believe. There's 238 and 236, if I'm not mistaken, which I could be. And one of them is less radioactive than the other. I think 238 is used for power generation, or is it 235? I'm not sure. One of them is used for power generation and bombs, and the other one is, lying there, being radioactive. I forgot which is which. Enriched. Natural uranium is 90. 90? 90? Uranium is 2 something, right? Let's see. Atomic number 92. Yeah, atomic mass. Yeah, you're talking about the number. The number is 92, and the mass is 238 point something. Yeah. So we're talking about different things here. Different things. But you're right, it's 92 over here, apparently. But that indeed can be determined, what is it? Atomic number is based upon the amount of... No, atomic number can't change, because that's the amount of protons in the core. And the protons in the core determine what kind of material it is. The amount of protons plus neutrons can change, and the amount of neutrons makes it more or less radioactive. It depends on how much are in there. So the 90 will never change, 92 will never change, but this number, I know 235 and 238. That's the two I know. And I think 236 also in there somewhere. I'm not sure which one is the one used for powering powering the nuclear furnaces. I'm not sure. I am unsure about this. Google that. Fact. Interesting matter. 15 times 15 times 15 millimeters. Okay, if you say so. I don't know, man. No, I also have this here. I bought this especially because I do tutoring. Because I had someone who needs to have some lessons in physics. And kind of fun to watch it again. This is a whole book about all the, we call it BNAS, biology, natuurkunde, scheikunde, Dutch words for biology, physics, and chemistry. That's the first letters are about Dutch then. And it's all about all the chemical things and all the isotopes. There they are, all the isotopes, and more like that stuff that you could find on the internet, but you could also find it here, energy, power, and stuff like that. And yeah, it's also in there. I need to study that before my last tutoring job. It was 2 weeks ago. I think she made her exam, so that's good. That's good. Made someone make her exams. Physics are wonderful. Physics are wonderful, indeed, and they're also everywhere. You're made of physics. You are physics, so you're wonderful. Anyway, I think we covered most of the things I want to cover, and I'm hungry. I need food. I need fuel. Fuel the fires, and not uranium. No. I need bread with chocolate. Now I'm really hungry. God dang it, I made myself even more hungry. Aww. Well, unless there's something you want to discuss, Alucard. I mean, we could do the D&D thing, but I think the guy's already gone and wanted that. Let's see, what was it? I think he's gone. The guy who wanted the D&D things. Chocolate sprinkles, yes, chocolate sprinkles are the best, man. I actually, you have chocolate sprinkles, which are the round ones. Cylinders, little cylinders of chocolates, delicious. You also have the flats. Let's call them rectangles, a little bit wobbly, but let's call them rectangles. Vlokken, I use those more. For some reason, they're cheaper than the sprinkles, which is the same amount of chocolate. So, you know, it's half the price, so I'll take those. They taste the same. Flakes, that's the word, flakes, yes. Your words, your vocabulary is impeccable, sir. Croissant with butter and hagelslag. Ooh, yeah. Dude, you're making me even more hungry. No! Told you, you told me I could chat with you in Discord about Nini. You can, of course. Of course you can, dude. No worries about that. You can. Yes, you can. But because I was waiting for after the video, because as I said, the video was at the moment the subject. But what do you want to know about D&D, sir? What do you like to know about this, sir? Also, oh yeah, I remember the name. It was Stars Without Number. That's the tabletop role-playing RPG. That's some kind of acronym I always forget. That was the game I played with space stuff, which was the Space Wheel Slug, which is really fun. Yeah, I got to do this all the time. When I go into character, I usually try to give them some kind of thing to remember me how to make them make the sound and make them do the thing. And just as a reminder, because it's hard to keep a voice all the time. So when I go all big and stuff, I'm going for my my Russian friend. What was his name again? Iron Ivan, who was a warforged, who believed that he was from Russia. I wanted to introduce the fields of potatoes as a raw vodka fields. I wanted to become Tsar. That was all before the Russian invasion, and people are, well, of course, a little bit less pro-Russian nowadays, so I stopped using that. But yeah, that was one of my D&D characters. Who was actually, I can show that because I have a video. Give me a second. I'm going to show you Iron Ivan. Yeah. He's awesome. He's great. we have props. There's props. I have returned with the props. Are you Russian accent so dope? I practiced the accent quite a lot because I played Iron Ivan for over 3 years in my in the campaign, and this here is Iron Ivan. I will show him to you. See if I can get him to focus. I think it's one of my best paintings ever. Can I show this that you can see it without going all vague? No, it stays on me. He has a big hammer. Down there is a D20. Can I get him to focus? Maybe I have to get out of the frame myself. I don't know. Let's see. There he is. Yeah, I can't. Doesn't really work, unfortunately. He is tiny. I think this is the best I can get it. Then in front of my face, that I think is the best you can give of him. Yeah, has a big hammer, a big black cloak, and yeah, he's my Warforce Russian guy. I want to implement the Tsarism into a world that does not know what Russia or Tsars are. He was awesome. I'm Dutch. I'm from the Netherlands, my friend. I'm from under the sea. Currently. Well, under sea level. Let's just say that, under sea level. Also, for everyone out there who plays D&D, if you're a true nerd, you have one of these. Who knows what this is? What is this? You're half Dutch? You're half cool then. Depends on which side you choose. No, you're cool, mate. Who knows what this is? If you're a true nerd, you know. Any true nerds in chat? No? No one knows. Let's see. Would a Star Wars Evil D&D campaign maybe interest you to join? It's a political strategy theme like DM. Interest, yes, but depends really much upon time and dates, because I'm in the living room right now, and this is a living room I share with other people, and that means that I only have limited time to stream. So interesting, but that means you have a channel of your own, I guess. So yeah, with collaboration with 4 other DMs. I assume one would do it. One would be the DM, the others would play, or I need to know more about this. But put that in DMs in Discord, I think. 19 and 10 o'clock, that's a problem, because as I said, I'm in the living room and I share this, and at night people come back from work, and I can't stream at night, unfortunately. I'd love to, but unfortunately I cannot. Mondays and Fridays bi-weekly. It sounds really cool, man. I'd really love to, but unfortunately my evenings are, well, I can't use my microphone in the evening. I wish I could. I really wish. Unfortunately. Would be cool. Now this here is my Dutch, is my pot of dice. And any true nerd should have one. If you don't have one, you're not a true nerd. Become more nerdy. You have a PC in the room? No, this is my only PC, man. I am not a rich man. If you want to know the proof, have a good look at this. You see how worn that is? You see all the sides there glued together with super glue? Yeah, I'm not a rich man, dude. I don't have 2 PCs. Yeah. Yeah, it would be fun. Would be definitely fun for me. Ivan the Terrible? No. Iron Ivan. There's more than one Ivan, but this one is the best one. And he has a big hammer. Yeah, I actually made it with a hammer. I wish I could make that actually into focus, but I don't think I can. My camera is not great enough. I'm using my phone as my camera, so it's not the best quality. I'm sorry about that. That's all I have. That's all I have, unfortunately. Yeah, but that would be a pretty cool thing, dude. Would be a pretty cool thing. So, and then I assume you want to be the DM or someone else is a DM, and then you get a group of people together to D&D. That's really nice, man. That's really cool. And I love making characters. I have this problem in most games. I play a lot of Elder Scrolls Online, and actually, why the hell not put it up there? You can see them. Also, sorry about the boink. Big boink. It's a big pot. I mean, I'm a big nerd. Big pot. It's needed. It's mandatory. Let's get it up there. Yeah, I'm aware now as well. Good. You finally noticed, Zero. Big nerd. Big nerd. Yeah. Log in. I love this game, by the way. There's so much lore in this shit, man. It's too great. Anyway, give me that. That's not right. That's right. There's a thing happening. I'm logging in every day because there's a celebration. I used to play this at closed beta, by the way. Anyways, you see this over here? I've already deleted more than 7 characters who were max level. Because I just keep making new characters. I love main characters. I think it's awesome to do. It's also nice to see you coming. Revolutionary, I must say. Very revolutionary. I would say magnificent. I had this morning that video from Obama and stuff, and I was like, I need to share this, but also I should do it different than what I normally do. So I thought I just had this camera up for giving my tutoring lessons. I was like, I keep it up. We just go for the camera thing. We'll support us. But yeah, I love main characters, man. I love main characters. For example, this is a main character who is my mentor. He teaches other people. This is my a lightning mage, a Sigic mage, with of course an enormous sword, because mages with swords are cool. Big two-handed sword over there. Then we have this guy I just made. This is supposed to be my best. Oh, by the way, I need to rename him. Yeah, I got the wrong name in it. Look at, by the way, how amazingly shiny his armor is. Glass armor on the guy. I do have to rename this guy. There is a special name I want to give him. Because the name for perfection, I believe it's... If Apraxis and something else. There's something else, well. I forgot what it was. What was the name again? I wrote it down yesterday. I make screenshots of things, of the texts in game, and see if I can make them work. Where is it? Games. Hello, games. And it's over there somewhere. Games. Yes. Shortcut. Yes. ESO. There we go. And then, yeah, this stuff over here. All kind of screenshots I make. Mirror's outfit. Many Marco close up. Lyran's clan. That's information about Lyran's clan. This is the lore in game. Screenshot of it. Let's put it there so I can see you. There we are. Yeah, I screenshot stuff like that. Perfection. Oh yeah, this was one bug I found. If you go to Murkmire, and I was with my character back in the day. I think I delete this guy. I don't know. I think I delete him. But yeah, this was yeah, this girl is apparently flying, and he stays there. She just stands there as well. Yeah, that was a bug I found a while ago. It's still not fixed, by the way. It's still there. The Abolisher. Oh yeah, we were trying to get the Echo of the Abolisher thing. I was trying to get that last time. I'm not done with it yet, but what I'm talking about... Chronological Order, Artifacts Look, Best DPS Stats... Disgraceful? Oh, that's Apraxis. So... Gruffy Phalax here is Disgraceful. Would be a cool name for a character at some point. But there was also the one I just got. Apraxic... I think I lost it. Somewhere here. Must have missed it. Is this you? Is it you? No, that's a shadow skill. I made a picture of a shadow skill to copy that outfit once. The coloring especially. I can't find it. Dang it. I lost it. Put it somewhere incorrectly. Also made the Wood of Necromancer from the Aliad. The paintings. Unfortunately, you can't make this outfit. I wish I could. But yeah, my problem is I love to make characters. And way too many. So therefore, yeah, I have so many characters, I keep remaking them. I got here my my knowledge seeker. He's an arcanist. He uses books, and he has a book following him. Also, how do you like this horse? Very cute horse, right? Yeah, yeah. The revolution starts here. Yes. X marks the spot. See you in a bit, dude. This is a character I made all around this bow. This bow here is a armor set. Which if you do a heavy attack, means holding down the mouse button, do a heavy attack, and when it hits the first target, it will do a lightning strike from above, and also do damage and AoE around that. He's only focused about that one single attack. Yeah. Okay, that's good, guys. Have fun and stuff. Have fun, dude. Thanks for being here. Hope you have a great rest of your day. And touch some grass, dude. Touch some grass. Grass is good for you, but don't eat it. Bad for cows. Oh, this is my animal guy. He has all kind of armor sets that make animals appear when he fights. Stuff like that. I love making characters, man. This one is a necromancer. I don't like necromancers in this game. I used to main a necromancer in Guild Wars 1, which is also where the name Asmo comes from. Asmodom was my first character ever in a video game, and used for years. But unfortunately, this game you can't really get a whole crew of skeletons follow you, so I'm kind of meh about it. This is my paladin, a super holy knight of superness. He shines at every single part. Whenever, also this is yes, this is a copy of Dawnbreaker over there. Whenever he fights or attacks, a celestial sword appears and fights with him. It's cool. This is my frost guy, frost mage. All about frost, all the chills. We got my robots. I made a robot. There he is. This is all, by the way, this is not a polymorph. You can have polymorph into robots. This is all just actual armor pieces, which makes it look very similar to robots. Of course, a robot dog and a robot dinosaur, I guess. It's pretty cool. This used to be my vampire. Therefore, the name is still Ragilo of Nokra, which if you reverse it, it is the Volcair vampire boss from Skyrim, the reverse name. I just recently changed it because I never played him. So now he's gonna be my sneaky guy. He's gonna steal all the furnishing plans and stuff from me, because he doesn't have anything learned, so therefore he can get all the stuff still, which my main character can't because he already learned them all. And this is my my character made about the crows. I love the crows in Elder Scrolls Online. They have a really cool lore and they're just really fun to follow. And I wanted a guy that was using as many crow parts as possible, going to the whole nocturnal thing, because they are servants of nocturnal. And he also changed into a... you can also see the staff is also a crow. And he's also changed into a shadow when he attacks and heals up while he's a shadow. He's a whole shadow mage. Therefore he's also a Nightblade. So he's... normal Nightblades are the assassins, but they also have a whole shadow magic tree, which this guy fully uses. I think he's one of my coolest characters. This is a character made for stream, was a fire mage. Dunmer's best with fire damage. And he's also Dragon Knight, more fire, fiery horse, he's all fire. This is the last Argonia made. It's gonna be my Shadow Scale assassin from the Dark Brotherhood. At the moment he's wearing all ancient Argonian gear, which you can only get by was it? What's the word for it? By artifacts, finding artifacts in the field. I think it's really cool. So yeah, I also, this is what he was wearing is a mythical artifact what he's wearing on his arms. I think they're the Threshen Stranglers. Pretty sure they are. I made also an Angry Stone Man. Look at the Angry Stone Man. Yeah, I randomly got this skin from one of the boxes I got. And I was like, I have to make a character out of this. So I renamed him into Angry Stone Man. He used to be an Argonian, but this thing doesn't have a tail, so I made him into an Imperial. That's why he's an Imperial there. I'm still building on making his character to have the right skills. And I did love the recent events sword and shield from him. You can't see the shield on this character yet, but it's really fitting with the whole you're basically a stone guardian going around. I love that. Just so many options for character creations in this game. So yeah, and I've deleted many. This one I've kept. This is one of my longest standing characters. He's my trader. Also, you might recognize him. I made him look like someone. If you played Skyrim, you should know him. You should know him. Yes. If you played Skyrim, he's as close as possible to him. It's if you played Skyrim and you played Dark Brotherhood, there was a red god in there, right? Who gave you all your quests. This is his copy, basically. He's a Templar, all holy magic and stuff, and all about executing people. And I made him into. I basically ignored the Templar part about him. I made him into full only blade. So he's long sword, he's sword and shield, and he is double wielding master. Basically ignored his entire main kit and went fully for all the other options that don't require main kit. I mean, he can do main kit things, they work, but he's just a swordmaster executioner for the Dark Brotherhood. Yes. Then with Asmodom Tamed, this is my my werewolf, fully optimized to be a werewolf, by the way. Sorcerer and orc are the best things to make a werewolf better. So yeah. I'm going to garden the stuff out of it. Yeah, garden the stuff out of it. Garden the stuff. Touch the grass, touch the grass. Yes. Then we got an Arcanist. I need to make a... Before I made this guy, I had to make a Orc, because in this whole list, I tried to make every single race and every single class. And I didn't have an Orc. And I didn't really dislike Orcs. I don't really like playing them. But this guy was okay. He's Arcanist. It's pretty easy to play. I just max him out and just... Now he's just my... he carries all my surveys. You can get crafting items in this game. And if you do your crafting dailies, you can get surveys where you can get more crafting items. He's saving them all up. He's having tons of them for when there's an event where you get double resources. And I'm going to use them all and just get double res from all of those. That's the plan. And this is my Necromancer, who at the moment looks a bit weird. Because I was having some fun yesterday and someone asked me for help. So I went around and, let's just say it was a bit showy off. So this is actually the polymorph into a automation. This is the polymorph in comparison to the actual armor, which is this. This actual armor on the guy, not the polymorph. Even though those knees don't really look like normal, this actual S armor obtainable in the game. And this is then the polymorph that you can get in game. A bit hard to get. This one you had to buy. You get all kind of emotions that you are more robotic. You dance a robot. You have light from your eyes sometimes, like scanning the environment. It's really cool. But yeah, as I said, I've made way too many characters. I love making characters. I think it's amazing. So that's also in D&D. That's in most games I play. I have this challenge for Asher Creation, where I want to try to play it, eventually when it comes out and we have to make the final guy, to make only one character, which will be very hard for me. But I will try. Because the problem with this is that you get so spread out on what you're doing that you forget what you were doing. And yeah. So I don't give them enough time, and I need to change his name. If I find the name I was looking for, I need to go back to Somerset. Actually, I can do that right now. There are some people who have never done that, so... Yeah, if they run the ice out here, my ice mage, let's bring him in. I know he never did the quest, he never went to Somerset, he's my lord. So obviously he's in North Territory, the Reach. Obviously. I also stream playing him. I need to change my category, of course, because we're now in ESO. I need to change that, else we get in trouble. What shall we call this? What's a good name for this? Yapping. Yapping. There we go. The politics can go. Instead, we will get the Elder Scrolls Online. There we go. There we go. So Twitch will get angry with me. I don't want it to get angry with me. Let's get that back. That means technically that I should change that a bit. I need to go to Azure Operation. Elder Scrolls Online, that's fine. Okay, yeah, we have to use that one. And then remove this one. So now you see the blocking over there? It blocks now chat, or at least a part of it. I need to make that properly fitting. But at the moment we don't have that. At the moment. It will be only short. So people can spew their nonsense in chat and we don't get trouble. I need to talk to this guy.
Don't ask a Hagraven about...
Cool. I need your teleportation shrine, which is inside the city. Actually, I don't need it, do I? No, I don't. I have a house there. Hello, house. Travel to house. Outside of the house, please. Quickly start a very short quest. Don't even have to finish it. Just have to talk to the first person and then screenshot that conversation. Yes. Screenshot it. There we are. Also, it's... Well, hello there. Also that. That is also one of my houses, by the way. One of my many houses. I have a few houses. And I have been working on them quite a bit.
You look at one another and suspect nothing.
So let's go. Actually, I mean, since I have him, I kind of need to do this, because I'll forget I will not do it. And there's an event going on, the anniversary event from the Elder Scrolls. I think it's still celebrated 10-year anniversary, but I think by now it's the 11th or 12th year, I think it is even. We got a whole lot of stuff. If we quickly walk past this and just activate everything. Quick activation. 1. That's a mod. We don't have a place for in quest log. The Rift, no. Tales of Tribute, that one can go. Abandon that. Abandon. Ah. There we go. All the quests are here. Check. Bibbidi. It's magic. That's still the same mod, by the way. Or add-on, we should say. It's add-on. Add-on is the word for it. I need more jutes, by the way. I'm pretty low on that, apparently. Pretty low on jute. Hey, jute. Make some food. Or make some drink. Yes. 2.3k still, that's fine. Iron, 16k, 1.6k, sorry. That's still enough, plenty. Everything underneath a k is not enough, basically. And then a little bit of alchemy. Maho, maho, bam. Quickly ladies. These are crafting risks, as they are called. And then we go forth. Be away, woman! Be away! There we go. And then we go here, and we quickly press the buttons. Now you see a lot of things happening in the bottom right. Actually, it was beneath my face, so you can't really see it. Oops. Well. Ah well. There we go. Those chests will open automatically, but that's all kind of free stuff I get over there. Which is cool. I need that stuff. But we'll open all of them. We'll open all of them. All because of the single mod. It shouldn't open all those special chests, but it does. It just does. Which for now is fine. So now we should have no more boxes in inventory. No boxes. And we got a recipe. For level 45 to 49, it's not really great. And a cheap recipe. And we got style motive. Yokodon chests. Oh, look at that. Average 11k per. That's pretty good stuff to sell if I don't... Yeah, Bagheera knows it. Known by Bagheera Soundless. So we could sell this. Pretty good stuff. Enchant the Service. These we'll give to our orc to save. Same here. Apocrypha. Yeah. Let's go... Oh, actually I did that? No, I didn't. There's still no completion on the main quest. Cool. Cool. I was afraid I did it.
Fight those monsters. I'm getting out of here.
Yeah, get out of there. It's fine.
Run.
Yeah, that's all fine. Here we find a Razumdar. Razumdar. Should switch to him. There it is.
Raz enjoys a good fight as much as the next guy, but these are horrible creatures.
Die, creature.
Claw, good to see you.
Apparently he
Raz
can live.
has a proposal if you have the time.
Your proposal, sir.
Have you ever seen such creatures? Raz has not. Probably neither have you. You are a newcomer, yes? New to this island of high elves?
I love the fact they all voice act all this stuff. I think it's really awesome. But, wait, we need to talk more with him.
Shimmering, true.
Is that it? No, we need to more.
Shimmering as a man.
I get all the things quickly clicked on. There we go. I need to speak to this woman over here in this quest. Well, quest, I'll get rid of his quest afterwards. Because I don't want him to do the main quest yet here. But we need to print screen her words. Because she has some cool words. We can use for a character
Find
name.
your own patch of beach.
Yes, go away!
Not that you'd understand the concept, but the path to Alaxon requires
That's it.
dedication and
Alaxon.
complete concentration. I
Complete!
must find the perfect shells, or my pigments will be substandard. And do you know what that will do to my art? Exactly.
Very much so. Anyway, spam, file, save as. That's not the right place. We need to go to desktop. Yes, then we go to games. There. Then we go to ESO. And we say Alaxon. Alex, what is it? Alaxon. Alaxon. Yes. Save. That's been saved. Cool. Okay, goodbye. We abandon the quest. That's done. And then we get out of here. Log out. Back to the character creation. So Alexon, I think, is a pretty good name for my character, because he's supposed to be a extremely holy high elf, the best of the high elf that ever been. You know, he's that extremely good one, the best among the best. So I think we call him Alexon, if we can, if the name's still available, which it might not be. And this one here, Yuda. Name change. Alexon. It's an L, not a K. See if I've written it properly. Let's see. Chat, check it with me, for I am done. Alexon. Alexon, that's it, right? Requires dedication and complete concentration. Perfect shells or pigments will be substandard. Path to Alexon. Yeah, we are Alexon, yes. Dang it. Dang it. Dang it. Someone beat me to it. There's a bigger lord nerd around there than me. Dang it. Alexon. I could put an extra L in there, for example. It's not great, but let's see if it works. Yeah, there we go. We're now almost perfection. I like actually the fact that we don't have the name perfectly, because it means perfection, but the name is not perfect. So that makes it, you know, I like that. Yeah, that's good. That's good. And here's my Holy and Endowed Paladin. Well, actually, he's a Templar. Templar, that's the right word. And he is so shiny. But there's a cool thing about this that I found out. If you have a Templar, they have a very noticeable ability where they use their spears to attack. And they're summoning some kind of... That's all the trade buddy thing. Where are we actually? Oh, we're here. Okay. Let's go to some place where we have some room. It will be dark, but it's fine. Let's... Actually, can we go upstairs here? Anything cool upstairs? There's your space, there's space, here's space, there we go. So, if you attack with the one here, which is this ability, puncturing sweep, see what he summons. You see that spear he summons? That spear? That's exactly the same skin as his staff is. I found what staff it is, this staff over here. It's exactly the same as that skin. So now I actually am wielding the spear, because there's no spears in the game. You can't use spears, but this entire line of skills is around the Adric spear, and now we have a spear that looks exactly like that in our hands, which is in this case a staff, but that's fine. But it's kind of fun that we actually use our own staff and then make it more empowered with divine stuff to spear someone. And I'm pretty sure it's the same skin. Pretty sure it's the same skin as this staff is. So yeah, took me a while to find that. Anyways, as I said before, I'm way over time, and I've talked about many things, and I need to give my throat some rest so I can talk in the morning again, tomorrow again. So I want to thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, hope you had fun. Make sure you touch some grass, get in the sun, enjoy the sun. And I'll see you next time, guys. And don't forget to be nerdy. Be a nerd. I'm proud of it. Anyways, thank you very much for watching. Have a great rest of your day. And I am out of here. Goodbye.